What's the one on the bottom right? I don't recognize
that's a YouTuber.
Oh,
okay.
yes. I also got into this guy.
Fucking good.
I thought that was just fan art of you.
Oh,
This does kind of look like you.
Me, I am my favorite thing of this year.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another festive episode of the Trash Taste Podcast. I'm Joey, and I'm with my festive co-hosts, Connor and Gaunt.
That's not a very festive opening.
Happy holidays, everyone. By the time this comes out, it's right before Christmas, I believe.
Right before Christmas.
Couple of days.
Hope you guys have done your Christmas shopping. There's no last minute Christmas shopping, I'm sure. Definitely.
Still gotta do that. What do you guys want for Christmas, by the way?
Your company.
No. What do you want? I don't fucking know. I can't give you that. What do you want,
your presence is a
your
gift.
friendship.
We're
still friends for like another year, right, guys?
I just want to cherish now. That's why they call it the present. Oh my God. But anyway, we're gonna.
What do you want?
They call it the present because it is a present, Joey. That's what the saying is, surely.
Whatever. It was a shit fucking thing.
Is it bad to ask someone what they want, or is it better to?
No. The problem is I can't answer that question because I genuinely don't know.
Yeah, me neither.
This is the problem I have with every Christmas time. Everybody around me asks, "What do you want?" And I say, "I don't know. I wish I knew."
I generally have something.
You did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Well, you told me one, and I was like, "What?"
Wait, what? I told you something?
Oh, no, maybe Sydney told me what you wanted. And I was like, are you sure he wants it?
Oh, okay.
Sydney's being a rat, bro.
Wait, what do you want? What do you want?
I just, like, off the top of my head, I've been getting into, like, fidget toys recently.
What Sydney said.
Huh?
There's not what Sydney said.
That is not what Sydney said.
Oh, do you want a fidget spinner? Like, what do you want?
No, not a fidget spinner, Joey. Okay.
Is that not a fidget toy?
That's a fidget toy made for someone who doesn't fidget. All right. Like, swear down, I've been getting recommended a lot of different fidget toy videos, and some of them I'm just like, oh, that looks really, really good. Actually, do you know one of the best fidget toys I've had recently?
What?
It was a present that you gave, actually.
What?
It was the belt buckle. and so Connor, like, I asked for a belt, right? And Connor gave me a belt buckle, and it just has this really satisfying click. Right? When you like flip it, it has such a strong, satisfying click.
Wait, which belt was this? What brand is it?
I think it was Calvin Klein.
Yeah.
It has such a satisfying click when you rotate it. And I've not actually used it as a swear down. I have not yet used it.
He's just sitting there in his office just clicking away at this belt buckle.
Swear down.
This is like when parents buy their kids like a ton of like, or like when they buy pets, they buy like a cat or a dog, a bunch of amazing toys, and they end up playing with the spring on the door.
Yeah. Literally.
Swear, I haven't actually used it as a belt yet because it's just been sitting on my desk. God. And I just twiddle with it because I'm just like.
So do I have to buy another belt that you actually use?
Oh no, like, I don't know.
Remember last year you were like, I need a belt to use, and now I find out that you're not using the fucking thing. Like,
or just buy him another Calvin Klein, but only the belt buckle part.
Yeah, I should. Yeah, I should
so
rip off the rest.
I've been getting curious about like different fidget toys because I bought one in Korea and it was shit. I've kind of realized the difference between good fidget toys.
Metal,
there needs to be something like satisfying.
Well, now I'm scared to buy you any like fidget toy for Christmas because there's a chance that I'll give it to you and you'll be like, "This is shit."
I want to know
like your standards for fidget toys like up here.
Do you want to know the funny origin of where your belt came from?
Where?
I probably should say this. So I went to this Don Quixote, and I remember you told me you wanted this. And I got sidetracked. I wasn't actually looking for a birthday present. Sorry, Christmas present. It was Christmas. It's Christmas.
Christmas,
right?
Yeah.
Last Christmas, and I went to this really cool Don Quixote that was like 8 floors or something in Hokkaido, and there was a $100 gacha machine, and I was like,
"Fuck no."
Yeah, I was like, "Shit, okay." In my head, I was like, "This is before." If YouTube Shorts are on my mind at the time, I would have made a short about it or something.
Yeah.
But I was like, "Well, fuck, I'm gonna find out." So I just unloaded like $500 into this thing to see what I got.
Oh my God.
And I realized, I was like, wait, hold on a second. Wait, no, was it 5,000? Yeah, I think it was $100, like $60 a go. And the worst thing you could get, you basically got like a level. So it's E to A to B, whatever.
Yeah.
And I got 4 E's, which was the worst, and 1 like C.
Okay.
And the E's, you could choose from this cabinet a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the prices of some of these things on Amazon, and a lot of them were more than Ichiman.
Oh.
And I was like, wait a second. well, this is great.
Yeah.
And so I got one of the belts from there. Oh shit! Because that belt was going for like $80.
Was that the E rank one?
That was one of the worst ranked ones. Yeah. Because
I got a gacha prize. I'll take it.
Yeah, but it was like it was. I was looking on Amazon. It was more money to buy it on Amazon than it was to play this gacha and lose and then get it. And I was like, huh.
See, but that's cool. But now that we've known the true nature of what happened to this belt, you basically paid $80 for a fucking fidget toy.
Hey man, I've seen some
$60.
Okay.
Right, okay.
I've seen some of the prices of these fidget toys, and some of them can go from like $10. That's all the like the shit ones.
Yeah.
They can go for like hundreds of bucks. Some of these fidget toys because they're like so intricately made. So
Japanese engineering, like fucking insane shit. But we're not talking about fidget toys. We're not talking about belts. We're talking about our favorite things of 2023. We've decided to make a little 3x3 to kind of reflect on the year of 2023 and basically share, I guess, the 9 things that we were really invested in or we really want to talk about that we discovered in 2023.
yeah.
Go.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, who's got me?
It's one of you. Talk.
Okay. To preface, not everything has to be from 2023.
Yeah.
Just things that we discovered or things that we enjoyed in 2023.
Yeah, because we've had 2-3 Christmas episodes before, so we thought we'd do something different and just reflect on. We're going to be self-indulgent and just be like, hey,
Things
this
we
is
liked.
what we liked in 2023. And it doesn't have to be any theme, doesn't have to be any particular thing, can be literally anything that we wanted to talk about that we discovered in 2023.
And if you watch Trash Taste, odds are I imagine some of these might have come up on Trash Taste.
I've tried to pick stuff that I haven't talked about so much on Trash Taste before, or things that...
Fair enough. I've got a mix. Half I've definitely spoke about a lot.
Yeah, I'm about a mix as well, I think.
Yeah.
So who wants to go first?
Why don't you? You're the host.
Yeah, you
kick it off.
go. You can go first.
Bring on my 3x3 that I definitely just scrambled together.
No, what the heck is this? Okay.
You know what's really funny? I was thinking back on like, all right, what are the like some of the newer things that I got into in 2023?
Yeah.
And I sat there and thought about it and I was like, damn, am I getting old or do I just not remember what happened this year? Yes.
Either that or you've gone back to your fucking childhood.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, if you remove the crown, this could be a kid's list.
Yeah, literally.
Remove the crown. What age? What age range are we talking here?
Yeah. Literally. Legit. I think I might have gone back.
Sometimes going back to the roots is where it's at.
Yeah, man.
Okay, I got to ask.
Yeah.
Crown ain't no way. Come on.
Okay, legitimately, I started watching The Crown. I didn't really start watching it this year. It was more like late last year that I like kind of discovered it.
Me too.
And at first when I looked at the concept of this show, I was just like, oh, it's about like the British monarchy. I didn't really care about every Australian doesn't really care about the British monarchy, all that kind of stuff. But I thought, fuck it, whatever. I'll give it a go. I'll give it a watch. And I really fucking enjoyed it. Like, it's a really good show.
I would like to give my thoughts on the show.
Sure.
To see if you kind of feel similarly.
Okay.
First, like 2 to 3 seasons, banger television. Some of the best out there. Because I feel like The Crown televised history was really, really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then afterwards, especially when The Crown season 4 and the latest season were really fucking bad. I thought the latest season of The Crown, the one with like Diana, all the Diana seasons have been some of the most boring TV I've ever seen in my life.
I think it's definitely gone down since, when like Diana came into the picture. Like definitely.
I haven't gone that far in The Crown yet.
Okay, yeah. Because like right now it's like season 6, I think, which is
Diana,
the last season.
3 seasons of this show to Diana.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, like, look, I get it. Like now that I have like fully sat through the entire series and I've actually learned a lot. Like it's actually kind of an achievement. This show made me kind of interested in learning about the history of like the British monarchy, which I didn't give a shit about before. But like, as Connor said, like first 3 seasons of like when, Elizabeth was still like very, very young and just became queen, stuff like that. That shit was super interesting because I never learned anything about that. Yeah. And again, it was just like really well-made television that actually made me give a shit about something I previously didn't give a shit about.
I had to constantly catch myself in the first few seasons being nearly caring about the royal family. I was like, no, Welsh ancestors. I'm not forgetting. He nearly got me. I nearly sympathized with you guys.
During season 1, I was still like in denial. I was like, this is cool, but like, I don't quite care yet. And then season 2 hit and I'm like, all right, I'm invested. You know when you like start watching that like trash TV show that your significant other is watching?
Yeah.
And then you start off being like, what is this shit? But then you stick around for a while, and then a couple
like,
of days
"Wait."
later, you're like fully invested in
It's
it.
like, wait, honey, can we watch the next episode, please?
Yeah. It's like, what do you mean you watched ahead? What the fuck? Yeah, so the current, I'd say like out of all of the Netflix shows, kind of live action shows, I'd say that one probably stuck out to me the most because, again, it made me care about something I previously would have never thought I'd get into.
I think if they had just wrapped up the Diana stuff on like a season as opposed to 3, we would have been.
How many seasons of The Crown is there now?
6 currently.
6, and half of it is Diana.
Fucking
Yeah,
hell.
like
Well,
3.
all right, 2.5.
Like 4 and 5 is like very heavily focused on Diana.
Because I got
that
through
whole
like
divorce
the
thing.
beginning of season 3 and then I stopped and then I was like,
Honestly,
I guess
probably the best thing to do.
probably
Yeah, it kind of goes downhill a little bit. I think the second half of season 6 has just come out, which I haven't watched yet, but apparently that's going to be like the end of the series because, you know, what are they going to do after that?
All right, so Lego.
Yeah.
What's that up about? What's up with that, Joe?
Okay,
what's
well-
up with that?
Look, as a kid, I'm sure everyone had that, like, you know, Lego bucket, Lego collection, as did I. You know, I loved playing with Legos as a kid. And then when I got older, I realized, oh, there are Lego boxes for adults. Like massive Legos collections for adults.
All Legos. Well, you know, I think there's most Legos are for every age. And
Yeah.
then there are some that are more catered towards kids.
Catered towards kids, and then there are ones where it's just like there's a couple of boxes that I bought which like straight up just say 18 plus. And I was just like, oh, okay.
What are you building titties?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm like, it's a bit of a weird like way to advertise it, but like, yeah, because like, you know, growing up, I loved like building Legos and like, did you guys ever have like these things called Mechanos?
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember
Yeah,
that.
like it's basically like it's like Lego except they're metallic pieces and you use like nuts and bolts and screws to like put everything
it's
together.
More gears and
More
shit
gears
like that.
and like you can add electronics to it and stuff like that. It's basically
I
like
don't know.
Hasbro's My First Robotics.
I watched that
basically.
guy on YouTube who builds Lego machines.
Oh,
He
yeah.
He's like, how many gears can I add to this system? And then he's like, I'm going to make an underwater car of Lego. And you're like, okay, that's sick.
Yeah, just shit like that. So it's like, and Japan as well has like a bunch of Lego stores all over, and there's one kind of near my house, and like I would go into it every now and then just to be like, oh, I wonder what like how Lego has evolved. And then I went in and I saw like a bunch of like really fucking sick Lego pieces that I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna go back to my childhood and just like build a bunch of Legos just to see what it's like. And it's I've kind of used it as my form of meditation this year of just just playing some music or like putting on a show on TV and just like sitting down and just building a Lego.
This man will do anything but watch anime.
I mean, to be fair, I watched Hell's Paradise while building Legos.
Okay, so give me what were your top 3 Lego sets?
Top 3 Lego sets. Okay,
it
so the one I recently finished was you know the giant wave painting by Katsushika Hokusai? Like when you think of a Japanese
that's
painting.
one. Yeah.
Pete gave this one away in my charity auction.
Yeah. So it's that, like the Lego set of that.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
saw
kind
this
of
one.
like this like really cool, it creates this really cool 3D Lego
sick.
painting. And you can like actually, they built it so that you can actually hang it up on the wall.
Oh,
So we
wow.
have it hung up on our
that's
wall,
actually
and it
kinda
actually
lit.
looks kind of dope.
That's
The
kinda sick.
coolest one by far though is I built a fully functioning Pac-Man arcade machine out of Legos.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah,
What?
so
What?
I'll see.
Can we
pull this up?
Yeah,
Pull-
pull,
Yeah.
pull it
Fuck, I
up.
wanna
Pull
see
it
it.
up.
And I'll send a video to Mudan as well to put in the episode. But basically, you can build this. It stands about this tall. And it's this fully operating, I say fully operating, but like there's a lot of moving parts to it. But like instead of actually like playing on the arcade, like with the joystick and whatever, there's a crank on the side and the actual screen, you can actually move around the Pac-Man and all of the, this thing. So I built
Oh,
this.
sick.
And the top part has like the Pac-Man logo, which you can like press a button and it flips around.
Wait, so is it like an actual screen in a game?
No. So all of this is like built out of Legos.
What? Can I
Yeah.
see a video? Can we go on a video? I want to see how this works.
And so basically it's made to look like a screen, but what it is that it's these individual like Pac-Man Lego pieces that are on a little chain.
I had no idea that Lego went this intricate.
they're going ham, bro.
Yeah.
Have they already stopped selling this? Because I already saw resale prices for like $500.
I don't know actually. But yeah, this is the exact one I
Holy
bought.
shit.
And Aki bought this for me for my birthday. And
Can you skip ahead, see where he's
so
playing?
Yeah,
that little
yeah.
crank on the side there, you can
Right.
crank it, and all of the inside like pieces, like the Pac-Mans and the ghosts, they kind of move around on a chain.
How does that work?
What?
And you build all of that from scratch. I think this took me about 2 full days to make.
That's insane.
Yeah,
Can
and
you
it's
can you
really
skip ahead to when he's playing with it?
Yeah.
yeah. So you can like press buttons, lights turn on. You can move the joysticks around, stuff like that. Yeah, so like those individual like pellets and stuff like that, you
Yeah.
have to punch them all in, and then by spinning the
Oh.
thing, it moves the pieces around to make it look
Right.
like it's actually like moving and functioning.
So it doesn't actually, obviously it can't like actually play a game, but it can.
Oh yeah, so
No,
go to
no,
the
no.
most replay pod there. Yeah, so it's like that.
Wait, that's actually sick. Wait, that's so sick.
Yeah, right? It's fucking cool.
Wait, can he, but he can't get the pellets, right?
No.
No,
so
no,
so
no.
You have to attach them to the
Ah,
chains,
Yes,
it
yes,
just
and there's
like
machines.
emulates.
Yeah.
But that way,
Yeah.
that's so sick though. The fact that it even like can like emulate.
Yeah, right?
The only thing that stresses me out about Lego, and I'm sure you might have been dealing with this conundrum, is where the fuck do I put all this shit when I'm done? Because like you run out of room fast with Lego. Because
Yeah.
Lego's big.
Yeah.
Especially
You
those
just
kind
need
of
to
sets.
have like a room dedicated to just Lego.
Yeah, I've just kind of put
This is why every guy needs a man closet, you know? Just,
A man cave.
Japan,
just
does,
a man
Japan does
cave.
not allow the man cave.
I
to
know
exist.
it doesn't, Connor.
We don't live in rural Ohio, Gone, where I have
That's why-
15 spare rooms, okay?
That's why when you fucking reach your 40s or whatever, you go into like the countryside and you get a basement.
You build a
where
basement.
you build a basement where you just build shit. And
So-
it's just where it's the place where shit just accumulates.
Yep.
Right?
So all of my Lego stuff I put on the same shelf as all of my Gunplas. So it's just like I have a dedicated
You are the
like
same.
I have a dedicated shelf of like this is the shit I made.
yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
I love Gunpla, but I think the one thing that Lego has just done amazingly is not requiring tools. Like you
Yeah.
can build so many things without tools, or if you do need tools, it's normally
Yeah,
very
my
minimal.
biggest problem with Gunpla
You
is
need a
that-
fucking like John Wick-esque toolkit you got to wrap out. And
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't necessarily need
I
to.
know.
All you really
don't
need is a pair of nippers. That's
necessarily,
it.
Yeah, I know.
But you know, if you want to go like full, like
Try
Gunpla,
hard.
you got to get like the paint out. You got to get the fucking fiddly little
You got
stickers.
to get the sandpaper
the
as well.
sandpaper as
Yeah.
well, and that is just way too much
Yeah.
craftsmanship for
But
me.
like the cool thing is that like with the Hokusai painting I made, because that is like pretty just looks nice and you can put it on the wall. We've like started dedicating a little area of our house to like kind of turn into like a like an old Japanese style thing. So another one I built, it's not a Lego necessarily, it's like nano blocks, which is like a smaller version of Legos, but I built a bonsai out of that. So
Oh,
so
yeah.
I just placed the bonsai next to the painting and it just looks nice. It like actually matches the theme. And there's another one where it's like a full Japanese garden, which Aki
Yeah.
really wants me to make to like match that
You're
aesthetic.
gonna be
as
the
well.
Lego guy soon.
I already am. Like,
the Lego man.
but yeah, like it just made me realize, like, yeah, I fucking miss just like, mindlessly just like making some cool shit. And like again,
Yeah.
it's been like a great way to just kind of like turn off from everything and just like meditate almost.
Right.
So yeah, if you're an adult, yeah, go get some Legos. It's good fun. Let's see, what else do we have? I mean, obviously top left, Tears of the Kingdom. I think we talked about that on an episode.
Did we?
I think I did. I don't know, but
Do you enjoy it that much?
I played the fuck out of this game, bro. I don't know if this is a hot take. I think it's better than Breath of the Wild.
I think it looked. Again, I've played like 1 hour of this game.
Yeah.
I felt like I booted it up and I was like, oh shit, it's just fucking Breath of the Wild.
Right. When you start off, for sure.
Yeah.
Because it's the exact same map.
Yeah, and
but
then it's like they add the Banjo-Kazooie-esque thing.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Nuts and bolts. They had
Oh, where you build your own shit.
That's
just say
that's just
Minecraft.
Lego again.
Yeah, true.
It's just Lego, yeah.
That's just, Joey went from playing Lego in real life to Lego virtually.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of was really excited for them to kind of hopefully go in a bit of a different direction almost.
I think they did though, because
Yeah.
what I thought was kind of genius was the fact that yes, the main map of Hyrule is pretty much exactly the same as Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
But because they add completely new power-ups now, the
Yeah.
way to traverse this like familiar land becomes completely new to you.
Yeah.
And also like with the Sky Islands, which is like a whole new area, and also
yeah.
the full underground as
Oh yeah,
well.
do you want to know what put me off into playing this
Yeah.
already? It's the underground section, man.
Why?
I don't know. It just, sometimes you look at a video game and there are some levels that you really vibe with and really like, and then sometimes you just get through a level even though you fucking hated it.
Yeah.
That's just me with underground level and cave levels. You know,
I love cave levels.
you love cave levels,
Yeah, 'cause
I hate it, man.
It's so rare you can make like gamers lose any sense of direction.
Yeah.
And caves are so
I
easy.
hate that so much.
But that's like you can't get that anywhere else, right? Like I don't want to go fucking caving in real life, but I would like to.
Tears of the Kingdom did that to the T as well, because when you go into the underground first, it is pitch black.
oh my god,
It's like-
that's everything I
And
hate.
so you just have to like blindly traverse.
Like and you're like 11 years old, and you're like, I can get through this Pokemon cave without Flash.
Yeah.
And then you start like the biggest mistake of your life, and it's terrifying because you're like, I might not ever get out of here. Like I love trying to recreate that feeling because you'll never get that feeling ever again.
That Doom when you realize
you're too smart. You know that you're not going to get in the
Doom
cave
when you realize you have no escape ropes.
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
well, I guess I'm here forever
This-
now.
Caving
That
to
dread-
me,
that dread is amazing.
Caving to me in a video game is just anxiety simulator. I
love that.
and I fucking hate that. Oh my god!
No, I prefer that because I rather experience that anxiety in a video game where there are no stakes as opposed to real life. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I hate cave levels in every video game.
Go on.
The completionist in me is just like, okay, I'm going to systematically explore everything in this cave. You take like 5 steps. You're like, okay, here's the wall. I've explored this area. You turn around. You're like, wait, this isn't where I started off. And then you get completely lost. So that little side of me that it says like, I want to completely explore this area.
Yeah.
I just get completely lost and I can't systematically explore the way I like to explore levels.
Okay, so then you might like the way that Tears of the Kingdom does it then, because in Tears of the Kingdom, there are like several holes in the main world where you can like jump into to access different parts of the underground. And at first when you jump in, it's like you look at the map and it's just completely pitch black.
Yeah.
But the way that the game kind of forces you to like navigate and explore it is that like, kind of like with shrines in Breath of the Wild, you'd see something in the distance and you go, oh, that's a place that I can just head towards. And the underground kind of does the same thing. It's not quite shrines, it's like some other thing. But when you get to it, it lights up a certain area surrounding that checkpoint. And so gradually you open up more of the map of the underground. So it's a really ingenious way of like, you know, giving you that sense of dread that Connor was saying, but also giving you like a motivation to step into that dread. Yeah. And I think that's like one thing that Breath of the Wild didn't quite have, because Breath of the Wild is like kind of, you go to a tower and then immediately everything is opened up and then it's just, you know, right for the picking. Yeah, Assassin's Creed style, right? But the underground I thought was like an interesting addition to that because it's a lot harder than the main.
Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy the underground section?
I did actually. I fully completed the map as well because it actually motivated me to like, I want to see what this entire place looks like.
Yeah.
I think the problem I'm having this year with gaming is that even though I'm very fortunate and I can stream games full time, I still don't have enough time to play all the games I want to play.
Yeah.
And like you look at like some of the best games of this year, a lot of them are fucking long games.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild is an 80-hour game.
Yep.
Baldur's Gate 3 as well is like
Baldur's Gate,
hundreds and hundreds of hours.
And it's like, I recognize that Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is probably another absolute banger they've knocked out of the park.
Yeah.
But I was, when I bought the game, I booted it up for an hour and I was like, you know what? These 80 hours, even though people be like, oh, he plays fucking Suika game or he plays fucking Jump King. It's like, yeah, but like I only lose like 10 hours from doing that, or like, 10 hours here and there. And it's like, I think for me personally, I didn't want to kind of experience a very similar experience to Breath of the Wild, but maybe with a different twist on it.
Yeah.
I felt like I'd kind of got my fill of that and that world. And I was kind of hoping, sorry, spat everywhere. I was kind of hoping for me, I wanted like a kind of a different experience. And when I was looking at the building mechanics in the new worlds, I was like, it doesn't really feel like enough for me to want to get reinvested, sink at least 80 hours into this world and do it all over again.
Yeah.
I was like, I'd rather just spend my time gaming on other stuff this year.
That's fair.
And so, but then if you say that, people are like, oh, you didn't fucking play Zelda, or you're not a real gamer. And it's like, well, you okay. Congrats. You wanted,
no gamer.
Congrats. You wanted to fucking play.
I mean, you're arguing with the crowd that you can't win against,
No, I mean, listen, Zelda fans are Zelda fans, and it's like telling wine snobs. You're like, maybe I don't want to spend $300 on a wine. Like, what do you mean? It's the best, fanciest wine of all. Everyone agrees it's the best.
Yeah.
It's like, well, maybe it's just not for me. Maybe I just don't want this again. Chill the fuck out.
You know what was a solid game that came out this year that's short as shit, like 10 hours?
What?
Fucking the new Super Mario RPG remake.
Dude, I want to play that.
That game is short as hell. I beat it in a day.
Everyone is complimenting it for being a 10, 12-hour game. Everyone's like, thank fucking God.
Yeah.
I make
I
an
feel like-
RPG game where you cut out all the bullshit.
Yeah.
I feel like we need more of that.
Yeah.
If anything,
What-
we
yeah.
need more.
I actually forgot how short it was when I beat it. I was like, oh yeah, the original is also this length. It just felt longer because I was a dumb child and I couldn't go through the game as quickly as I can now. But yeah, it's a fucking awesome game. Like I was debating between putting that there instead of Breath of the Wild, but they're both. You should play that. You can easily.
I really want to do that
Yeah.
because I've heard nothing but good things. And again, the main thing I've heard about it is that it cuts out all the grinding and all the dumb shit.
Yep.
And
You literally don't have to grind.
yeah, which is like I think there should be an option where I never have to do a side quest or grind in an RPG. I firmly believe that.
well, you don't have to do a side quest.
No, I know,
No.
but like
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to like.
Also, you don't have to grind if you're gamer enough.
Okay, first of all, some RPGs will just straight up be like, you are nowhere near leveled up for this. You're like, but I've done every mission up until this
yeah,
point.
but those RPGs are usually arse anyway.
Yeah, those are normally like the older RPGs now.
Yeah.
If anything, I feel like RPGs modern day
Getting better.
have gotten better in not making sure you have to grind.
Yeah.
But the annoying part is just the natural getting from point A to point B. You are just going to naturally.
Yeah,
grind.
I feel modern JRPGs now, they put grinding in as an option for people who can't out-strategize the game. Like normally,
Whoa.
no, they can. Like legit. Like like there's a lot of games like smaller JRPGs that I played this year that were quite new, and I realized that like I was getting through these games a lot faster, not because they're any easier, but because they made it easier for you to figure out strategically how you can get past these difficult points. Whereas the older JRPGs, your only option was to just be at a higher level because there were less options.
I have a question, completely unrelated to RPGs. Persona, does Persona have grinding?
Persona,
really.
Why
really.
is it so goddamn long? It's like 200 hours long, right?
Because the story is long.
Yeah.
they need to chill the fuck out.
Dude,
Yeah,
Persona 3 remake next year.
Yeah.
Fuck it, let's
I'm
go!
so excited.
Let's go!
Yeah, Persona is it's almost, you're gonna hate this. It's almost like a visual novel at some points.
Yeah,
But
that's
with
what I
So
noticed.
many different mechanics,
Yeah.
but it's the story is presented to you in a like kind of a visual novel form esque.
It's because, whenever I watch memes or videos about Persona, it's like, it looks so fucking hype. It's so fun, all the menuing, and it's so cool.
Yeah.
And then whenever I watch streams, I'd go in, there'd be fucking Resident Sleeper, dude. I'd go in there, it's fucking guy clicking A for 15 hours. And I'm like, something happened. Stop fucking trying to fuck the teacher.
I mean, it does happen. It's just from point A to point B is just a lot
Yeah,
longer.
Persona-
I'll talk more about it
Yeah,
later on.
Persona is almost like 5 different games in one.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Okay. So Breath of the Wild. Not Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Boring, as Pete calls it.
Breath of the Boring.
Pete's got to think of a new name for Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Gamers.
I don't know.
Tears of the Gamers.
What's the middle top? What is
So I just put music concerts just in general because I realized thinking back to this year, I went to a fuckload of music concerts. I think I saw about 15 bands this year.
Holy shit.
Two
Can't
festivals.
believe you missed the Geeks Plus Christmas party because of another fucking concert.
Yeah,
Joey.
dude, I had to go see Dean
Excuse me?
Excuse me.
Excuse me?
Dude, I had to see TK live and he was fucking insane. You know he's almost 50?
Is the guy who did
serious?
the? Is it the guy who did the
Unravel.
Unravel.
Yeah.
Did you do the Unravel live?
No, he didn't.
What?
No.
I would ask for a refund.
No, because I like his band.
I don't.
Well, fuck
I'm
you.
there for, I'm there for the song.
I went there for the band.
I'm there for the memes. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, he didn't do any like solo stuff, but like it's actually because like I've been following this band like for a really, really long time because my cousin actually used to be one of their photographers when they were still like an indie band up in Saitama. So like I'd known about them for a really long time, and then when I saw that they did the Psychopaths opening, I was just like, oh shit, that's my band right there, yo! Like it's I was having a real hipster moment, but then
I think our coffees are here, right?
might be upstairs.
Can
Yeah,
we grab
I think
them
I
before
heard
they
the
go cold?
doorbell, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like quite a while ago, right? Sorry to interrupt.
That's okay. But yeah, so like going to see Rinto Seshigure was like big, bucket list band that I wanted to go see.
Yeah.
Absolutely fucking insane. I don't know how TK can scream like that live and not burst his fucking lungs out.
How long is he singing for?
About an hour and a half.
Fuck.
Hour and a half
screaming.
set, yeah, and he was going fucking ham. And it was really funny because the bassist is like this girl called Miyoko, and she's this tiny, tiny fucking Japanese woman. It makes her bass look like a fucking double bass. And like in the middle, they had like a little, I guess, just MC moment where they would just like kind of talk to the crowd.
Yeah.
And I guess they were selling merch, and I guess they do all their merch themselves because they're still kind of a smaller band. And Miyoko, I swear, like Miyoko legit might have been like the model for Bochi. Because that's how she kind of was like on stage. She was this really fucking quiet, timid girl, and she's just like, we have shirts and a hat.
Is this a thing in Japanese concerts? Because I've only been to one, but they like stop the show halfway to do like a merch presentation.
Yeah, I think it's a Japanese band thing.
It's like, it was like, wait, what?
Because I've seen that quite a bit.
It's also a Japanese thing where they have to like, every song has to have like an anecdote to go with that song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like that fucking Taylor Swift. Like every time she introduces a new song, there has to be some kind of fucking story attached to it.
Yeah.
No, but Industry Secret actually didn't do that much of that. But yeah, like I think I knocked off quite a bit of like bucket list bands this year. Like I saw Maximum the Hormone, which were fucking insane. I saw Baby Metal, which were fucking insane.
Nice.
Bring Me the Horizon, Simple Plan, like ton of
What's
amazing
been the best
bands.
concert you've been to this year then?
Oh, that's hard.
Did Bring Me the Horizon sing the Giga Chad song?
They did.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Did they do the Giga Jazz song?
They did.
Did they talk about the Giga Chad?
They didn't talk about it, but it was very obvious, like, because the moment it came on, all the foreigners were like, it's the Giga Chad song. Actually, I think that was the first song they played.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they opened up
dude.
with that, which was fucking awesome. But I'd say I'd have to say probably the best one was surprisingly Baby Metal.
Oh shit.
Like, because like we were, they were at this like metal festival we went to, the Bring Me the Horizon festival, and there was like a ton of like, you know, obviously big metal bands like Bring Me and like Maximum the Hormone, but there were also some like really small Japanese bands as well that were there, which was kind of cool for Bring Me to like include and like kind of show off. Because like I looked up some of these bands and they had like 800 monthly listeners on Spotify or something.
God damn.
Like, there's tiny
How did they
bands.
find these guys?
I don't know.
Just listening on
Because like
Spotify?
all the bands they invited, all the bands they invited, like Ollie from Bring Me the Horizon were like personal fans of them, and they wanted to invite
fuck
them
yeah.
out. So I'm like,
Oh,
that was
shit.
really cool, like notion of them. But Baby Metal, it was like I've never seen that wholesome of a mosh pit happen before. Because when they played Gimme Chocolate, which is like, you know, their big song, and a Circle of Death started happening. Normally in a metal concert, Circle of Death, you know, people are like throwing punches, like, you know, fucking pushing people around. Like, it's called a Circle of Death for a reason. But the Gimme Chocolate Circle of Death, everyone was just running around high-fiving everyone.
That sounds
And
much
everyone's like,
nicer.
yay!
That sounds wait, why would I want to get beaten up?
Because it's a metal concert. That's
I don't
just
want to get beaten up.
that's what happens in a metal concert mosh pit, man.
What the heck?
A high five circle of death?
It was really
sounds way
funny.
better. That's
Just
way more
all
fun.
these like,
That's like the slice of life version.
yeah,
of like
all
the
these
circle of
Japanese
death.
dudes just fucking going yay to everyone outside the Circle of Death.
Sounds like what would happen in a K-On concert.
Yeah,
you know?
legit. It was like a K-On concert. But yeah, so that's why I just included all music concerts
Nice,
because
Right.
I fucking
Big
loved it.
one.
My experience.
Yeah. So if I'm seeing this correctly, Joey,
Yeah.
you've finally started Hunter x Hunter.
Is that manga or anime?
that manga?
Manga.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
So
okay,
I've
okay,
caught
okay.
up to the manga of Hunter x Hunter. I finally sat down. I thought, you know what?
we
maybe-
spoke-
Caught up?
Caught up.
We spoke about this in the previous episode.
Yeah, well, we've talked about
So
it.
you,
before.
you read the boat part?
I've read the boat part.
Will
Yeah,
you just hurry the fuck up?
I know. I get it now.
Yeah, it's like
And I wish I didn't because now I'm sitting there being like, great, another show I have to wait for.
it's like it's the Hunter x Hunter manga has reached a point where I'm like, this is a joke now. You're actively trying to like just never finish this. it
Yeah.
feels like. I'm
Wait,
like,
so
come on.
What's your favorite arc?
Yeah.
Probably Chimera Ant.
Chimera Ant.
Oh shit! I
fuck with that.
think the Chimera Ant arc is gets way too much hate. I think it's
Yeah,
a
that's what I
banger
didn't understand.
arc.
Why is Chimera Ant, now that I know the full concept,
Because it's so long.
And
right?
anime only fans watch it, and it's like 80 episodes out of the 140 odd.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's most of it, and I think most people who know of Hunter x Hunter have only watched the anime.
right?
Yeah.
And I can understand why they'd think, hey, this is really fucking long.
I mean, it was long in the manga as well,
But it was also fucking hype as
Yeah.
shit.
I think Chimera Ant has some of the best peaks of Hunter x Hunter.
Oh,
you know?
totally.
I
Peaks
feel
of
like
anime flat out.
Yeah.
peaks of anime flat out. I think my favorite arc of Hunter x Hunter is probably this is so hard.
Greed Island?
I really fucking like Greed Island.
Greed Island's
and
a good
a lot
arc
of
as well.
Wait,
like
Greed Island? Isn't that like a really unpopular one? generally?
that's a really unpopular one. I really
But the people who like it really like it, I've noticed.
the thing I loved about Greed Island, it's not my favorite arc. I think Yorkshin is my favorite arc.
Right.
Just because like that arc is so dense where it's rare that you see an arc where every episode you're like, holy shit, that was a banger. You put on the next episode, you're like, holy shit, this was also a banger. And it just keeps delivering every single
I think the
episode.
one thing I didn't like about the auctioneering arc, it was just it's a bit of a nitpick, but like I just didn't like I don't know how it is in the anime, but in the manga, there's like 3 or 4, maybe 5 chapters back to back where Gon and Killua are learning to like the ins and outs of like auctioning. And I'm just like, am I reading a manga or am I reading a textbook about auctioning? Like, I get like you want to like teach me this stuff, Togashi, but like I just want you to get to the auctioning.
Sometimes you turn the page in Hunter x Hunter and you're just greeted with a novel. And you're like, why did you bother drawing?
Well, I remember in the Greed
Island, why do you even bother?
In Greed Island, when they're first like introducing the card system, in the manga, there's like 6 pages where Togashi just shows all the cards that
like here's a tutorial.
Are in Greed Island with like all the text and shit. And it's like, and then by the end of Greed Island, I realize I'm like, I think about 80% of these cards just never showed up.
Yeah, the thing I've really liked,
which is cool, I guess.
The thing I've really liked about Greed Island is that was the arc that convinced me that Nen is just the best power system.
Yeah,
just
totally.
the fact that you can create an entire world out of this malleable system. I was like, holy shit, this is insane. Of course, yes, maybe it's a bit self-indulgent. I kind of don't give a shit just because of how interesting and how in-depth this power system is. That this arc kind of like displayed the depth and the limits of what you can do with something like this.
Also, not to give spoilers, but like I'd kind of like already slightly heard about like what happens to like Meruem.
Yeah.
But when I got to the manga, like the bad part in the manga, I still cried.
It's so good in the
that
end.
death is
he
crazy good.
is one of the best villains in anime and manga, period.
Such a good villain for that arc, especially. So I finally see the hype now. I get it. I knew I was gonna like it, as I've been saying. But now I actually know the full context,
Shit,
and
now I
love
have
it.
to watch Full Metal Alchemist. You know, you finally watch Hunter x Hunter.
You do.
Or Red Hunter x Hunter.
Octopath Traveler 2.
Yeah.
You liked it that much?
I thought this was fucking amazing. And especially coming from the fact that I also played Octopath Traveler 1, I realized just how much of just a missed opportunity Octopath Traveler 1 was. Right. Because like in terms of the actual gameplay, it's not that much different to Octopath Traveler 1. Like to explain Octopath Traveler for anyone who doesn't know, basically it's a JRPG, Square Enix, but you follow 8 protagonists and all of their stories all at the same time.
Yeah.
And as you go through the world, you unlock different parts of the story of each of the characters, and then it gets to a final ending. Octopath, exactly. But Octopath Traveler 2, I think, for one, like, the music is fucking god tier. Like, I think I'm actually going to try and go to the concert next year that they have. And also, the stories and characters were just infinitely more interesting than the first one. Because I think that was the biggest struggle with me finishing Octopath Traveler 1, was that, like, I wasn't invested in every single character. Whereas, which made it difficult when you're trying to go through the story elements of every single character. Yeah. But with Octopath Traveler 2, every character I was like, banger, banger, banger. Every single storyline was just so engaging. Yeah. And the ending as well is just like, it's hard as shit. Like, I had to grind the shit out of it for the end. But it was a really, really just like satisfying. I think I put in about 100 hours into this one. But it was such a good game. And I think it's like kind of slept on just because I feel a lot of people were kind of just thrown off from playing Octopath Traveler 1. Yeah. But so if you didn't like Octopath Traveler 1 for those reasons, I would highly recommend you play Octopath Traveler 2.
This one that was badly reviewed, or was it the first one?
First one.
Okay, yeah.
The second one actually I think is like all like critically acclaimed. Like everybody agrees that compared to 1, 2 is like infinitely better.
It's always better when the first one's better than the second, because then it's easier to sell people on the
exactly.
series. It's kind of sad to be like, hey, play an 80-hour game for the next one that's good.
Yeah. Well, luckily you don't have to play 1 to play 2.
Yeah, but everyone says that a lot of the time, and sometimes it's like, but I feel like I should go.
No, I think though with 2, there is literally no connection.
Oh, okay.
At all. The only connection is that it's the same type of gameplay, but in terms of characters and story, it's all different. Yeah. So yeah, freaking great. Also, like, so many like really, really high profile anime voice actors are in the Japanese version of this. Like, it's crazy. Like Hirano Aya, Miyano Mamoru, like all these like huge names. I'm just like, oh, I recognize that voice. I recognize that voice. I recognize that voice. So yeah, really, really solid. I'd say it's probably my favorite JRPG.
What do you think it's better about this compared to number 1?
I think it just made the stories a little more coherent, because the way you play Octopath, you're obviously not going to follow the chapter of one character simultaneously. Like you'd see one part of the story of a character, and then you're going to move on to another part of a different character's story. So Octopath Traveler 1, the way they wrote each of the storylines kind of made it a little bit difficult to like remind yourself like, oh yeah, where was I in the story with this particular character again? Because I was busy doing 3 other characters' stories. Whereas with 2, they made the story a lot more streamlined so that it just made sense. especially with like the progression in the game. It just felt more cohesive in general. And the music and the visuals, they just like up that as well. So it's really, really solid JRPG.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hell's Paradise.
Hell's Paradise.
This is your only anime.
I had to put an anime on there.
Is this the anime version?
This is the anime
You
version.
had to put an anime on
You
there.
didn't have to put an anime.
Come on.
And the fact that it's Hell's Paradise, I'm like,
This was like my favorite 8 out of 10 show of the year.
I
great time, but like not a masterpiece.
I think that's why I put it on there, because I just had a really fun time watching
me
Hell's
too.
Paradise.
I had a really good time
It
watching
wasn't like, I'm not gonna say it's like a 10 out of 10 masterpiece or anything, but like it was just nice to see like a no bullshit, no frills shonen.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be an extremely solid show after episode 1.
yeah.
And I didn't think it was going to go to like some crazy like plot twist depths or anything like that, but I just knew it was going to be a fun time.
I just like the fact that there was just like almost zero filler to it,
Yeah, it's good
which is
shit.
always nice, you know, because it's like once one thing happens, like boom, here comes the next thing, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm actually like engaged now.
Do you think you're gonna watch season 2?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I've also read ahead on the manga as well.
I'm not gonna lie, I really liked the beginning of Hell's Paradise. I loved it was basically what gave me what the Dark Continent in Hunter x Hunter hasn't given me
the
yet.
sense of doom.
The sense of doom, exploration, anything can fuck you up. And then the power system got introduced. And I'm like, this is kind of, it's kind of starting to feel like it's turning into like a more traditional generic shonen. And I'm like, ooh, I don't know if it's interesting enough to keep my attention.
Yeah.
If this
Anime
is,
only or manga?
this is the anime only.
Okay.
So you know the end of the anime where they
started
introduced
introducing
that.
it, and I was
They,
like,
they started introducing that power system, and then of course all the protagonists master it in like a day.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay.
I just fuck with that guy who chopped his arm off. I just like that guy. He's fun.
Oh yeah.
He's just fun to watch.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing.
That
It's like,
samurai guy?
Yeah.
That was really fun.
all the side characters are just so likable and just so insane.
Yeah.
And it's like, again, like, you know, I definitely have like qualms with it for sure,
Yeah.
but
Also,
I just had a really enjoyable time watching
I think
it.
hottest anime character of the year was Yuzu.
Oh,
Well,
Yuzuriha?
the
samurai
fucking
girl?
Samurai girl.
Oh, the ninja girl? Yeah. Dude, she
Get
is...
on my knees.
She was pretty damn hot.
When I look back at the year's hottest characters, I'm like,
Yeah.
I was like, when they gave her the power to, what was it, secrete sweat or some shit
was
like
like,
that.
slime or some
I'm like,
shit.
oh god, oh they know what they're doing.
It reminds me of that meme with the guy on like a TikTok holding a cigar in a suit.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just like me and the boys getting ready to appreciate. It's like, oh gosh.
Definitely, for sure. Yeah, so I think like out of all the ones, like I think for me this is like
How many
just,
anime did you watch this year? Out of curiosity.
I wish I should start keeping track. I'm not going to, but I should.
Yeah.
Start.
Yeah, I should keep track. I'd say maybe about 10.
10? Oh shit.
Yeah. I've watched a decent amount. Like, just the ones that I think I'm going to get into or that interest me. Like, I'm not going to watch all the fucking isekais. Like, fuck that. But, like, yeah, I think just out of all the ones I watched, like, this one, I just was like, yeah, hell yeah. You know, it kind of reminded me, it kind of took me back to, like, that time where, like, I could just turn my brain off and watch a nice shonen.
All right.
What about nonsense? I mean, nonsense is pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, I mean, I put nonsense there, but, like, just...
Congratulations on your
thank you.
Cyberpunk launch, by
Thank
the
you
way.
very much. I'm just mostly talking about just, like, Japanese streetwear in this case because it's not just the nonsense stuff.
You put yourself to represent.
If I'm going to sell out to anyone, I'm going to sell out to myself. all right?
That's fair.
But yeah, just like obviously from doing the nonsense stuff hardcore this year, I just got more into like the different sects of like Japanese fashion and like Japanese streetwear stuff. So like, yeah, just in general, I've just got into clothing a lot more, which I think just makes sense. By the way, the Cyberpunk stuff is still available.
I would hope you would have got into clothing a lot more, considering you now own a clothing company, Joe.
Yeah.
Sure.
Would have been pretty worrying.
Yeah.
I'll take the whole collection,
Yeah.
please. Thank you, Joe.
And,
Thank you.
Yeah. Still, Pokemon Go.
Yeah, what the
In
fuck is doing that, bro?
2023? What?
Okay.
Pokemon, go
Yo,
to
this,
the polls.
This is you reaching to the bottom of the bargain bin.
This
and
guy
being
will
like,
literally do anything but watch anime.
I mean, like,
I'll
what
go
else did I
outside.
do this year? Oh God, Pokemon Go. Okay.
Okay, with this one, right?
I saw this fucking video of you playing a 400-day game. What's going on?
Oh yeah, the longing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why are you not watching anime? Come on.
Because games
Come
are
on,
more
Joey.
fun. Because nothing good came out in 2023, right? Just kidding. But yeah, okay, with Pokemon Go, because we did so much fucking traveling this year.
Yeah.
Like more than, at least I did anyway. I don't know about you guys, but I think all three of
We
us.
did a lot of traveling. What are you talking about? I was there with it for most of the year.
Yeah, but I mean, I also went to a lot of places myself.
We were in the same
Me
places,
too.
Joey.
Yeah. But like, I think because, I went traveling so freaking much.
Yeah.
And, my friend like recently got back into Pokemon Go like earlier this year. And I saw him playing it and I was like, oh, has like anything new changed at all? Because I hadn't played the game since like basically the beginning of COVID when you couldn't go outside. And he was like, oh yeah. And he showed me all the new stuff that they added. And I was like, oh wow, this is actually like a playable game again. So I picked it up and it was great because during the travels, you can get like region exclusive shit. So I was like, well, it makes sense, I guess. While I'm traveling, I might as well have something to do.
Yeah.
So I picked up Pokemon Go again and it's actually a really fucking fun game again. Because before, like, they just basically were like, the vanilla version of this game was just like, go out into the world, walk around, catch Pokemon, complete your decks, blah, blah, blah. But now they've added like, rocket grunts, they've added raids, they've added what else? Like, like a ton of new shit that actually makes it so that you don't have to go outside all the time to like still interact with the game.
Yeah.
And it just made sense for me considering that, again, I traveled so much. I was like, well, I'm going to get all the exclusive shit.
Yeah.
It'll be fun again. And now that they've added like pretty much up to the latest generation, there's like over 1,000 Pokemon now you can catch. So there's just more longevity in the game as well. Okay. So yeah, that's what I got into this year, I guess. That's about it. I am
a pretty varied list.
I am
honestly.
a child, is what we've figured out.
Yes. Well, good to know that you're rediscovering your inner 13-year-old.
Yep.
As we all are.
As I'm approaching 30,
And,
I'm like, God damn, I want to go back.
Take me back.
Take me back, please.
All right. Shall we move on to the next one then?
Who's next?
Do you want to go next, Connor?
Sure, yeah, I'll go
received
next.
mine yet.
This episode is sponsored by Bokksu.
Did you procrastinate on your Christmas items? I bet you did. I know you did.
It couldn't be me.
Listen, it happens to the best of us, Joey, but you don't have to show up empty-handed. Instead, you can pretend you have your shit together. You can give them a cute little card which says that you have ever so thoughtfully gifted them a Bokksu snack box subscription.
Oh my
That's
God.
the best gift I could ask for.
You already know Bokksu is the premium Japanese
The
snack
one?
box. The premium, God. They work with family businesses all over Japan and deliver a new theme of authentic treats every single month. But what you maybe didn't know, gamers, is that they have gift options as well.
Christmas is safe.
You can sign your favorite person up to receive 3, 6, or 12 months worth of their epic snack curation.
This month we got Oshogatsu Fortunes.
Oshogatsu is what in Japan we call the beginning of the year. God, what you have there is fried rice crackers, miso flavored.
Smell that.
And of course, Connor has the Japan famous Buraku Sanda, a lovely chocolate.
So guys, if you have anyone in your life that loves Japan or just loves awesome food, why not give them the gift of Bokksu? So to get $15 off your own Japanese Bokksu snack box and support our channel, use code TRASH at bokksu.com. That's BOKKSU.com. That is BOKKSU.com with our code TRASH for $15 off your first order. Thank you very much to Bokksu for sponsoring us today. Back to the episode.
I'll go right away and I'll explain. I put the Hayao Miyazaki film on here because the more I like...
You liked it?
The more I sit after watching this movie, the more I really fucked with it.
I still need to watch it.
Yeah, initially when I left the theater, I was kind of like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But the more I've just gone on about my life, the more I've thought about that movie a lot more, which I feel like a lot of movies don't do.
Yeah.
A lot of movies, when I watch them, I consume them and I think nothing of them until someone reminds me they exist.
Yeah.
But this is one that I keep thinking about. And I don't know what that says about the movie, but it's really stuck with me.
What are you thinking about it?
I don't know. I was really, 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 and I know this is such a usual thing to say, but the music and the visuals were so fucking good, as always.
Yeah. Well, that's something you can normally expect from a Ghibli film.
Yeah, I know.
Joe Hisaishi don't miss, man.
He just doesn't. It's
He
fucked
really
up, dude.
doesn't.
Can you just be bad at
I
something?
hate how talented he is.
And it's annoying because I really, really don't enjoy Hayao Miyazaki as a person as much.
Yeah.
Just because of the way that he kind of the way he talks about things. And dude, I'm still angry about how he was mean to his son. Even though some people online find that like really funny and based, or like so fucking based. And it's like, what a fucking awful dad.
Yeah.
But
goddamn, he makes bangers.
goddamn, this film is really fucking good. Yeah. And I really can't wait to watch this dubbed again because fucking Robert Pattinson. Looks like he just looked like he just was in Twilight once and took it personally, and now he's on a mission to be good in everything ever. So super stoked about it. But honestly, I haven't watched many Ghibli films, but it's definitely my favorite one out of all of them. I like this more than Spirited Away.
Wow, really?
But then again, I didn't grow up with Spirited Away. I watched it for the first time this year as well.
Yeah.
Wait, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
If I ever said that I watched it before, I lied because I was self-conscious about not watching it. But I have now watched it.
Wait, so what did you... Okay, now I'm curious as someone who just discovered Spirited Away in 2023. What did you think of it?
I enjoyed it.
Has it aged well?
I thought it was good. I felt that because there was so many visual metaphors and a lot of different kind of... what's the word for this? I forgot how to explain this because my English explanations are bad. A lot of different messages and themes that I couldn't pick up on my first viewing.
Yeah.
That I then had to like, when I read more about the movie and I realized I missed a bunch of things.
Yeah.
Because there's just so much going on.
Yeah.
Especially like visually, there's just like, I would read about what each visual representation meant. And I was like, oh fuck, I had no way of figuring that out on my first watch.
Yeah.
And and I appreciated that. But at the same time, I felt like I really enjoyed The Boy and the Heron. I also went into it knowing fucking nothing. I studied everyone in Japan.
Yeah. Well, we did not have any marketing for it.
It came out of nowhere.
All I know is that they had that one sick sketch of the bird.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, all right, let's find out. And also, I won't lie, for me personally, it was really fun and satisfying getting to watch film in Japanese and understanding the entire plot.
Hell yeah.
I was super stoked about that. And I felt like the only character I couldn't understand was the bird sometimes because he'd be like, Doshio, Nanikore. I was like, and he talked really fast. I was like, hold on. Okay, let me try and like back up real quick. But everyone else I could understand pretty well, and I was really hyped about it. Anyway, and honestly, it was a fun time. I really want to rewatch it again just so I can kind of articulate how I feel about it much better. But it really stuck with me, and I feel like that deserves something. No.
Oh, damn.
It's the one Japanese film that's just not in cinemas anymore. I guess.
Right?
Yeah, and and I think back to other films I've watched this year, and I think I enjoyed Oppenheimer more, which is why it's on this list as well.
Yeah.
And I wanted to put one movie on this list, and they're putting two. But Oppenheimer was probably, and I feel so bad putting it up there, because it's like, it feels like such a cop-out.
No, I mean, I watched Oppenheimer as well. It was fucking fantastic.
It is a great film.
John Wick 4 came out this year, which I also loved.
Yeah, I was surprised you didn't put John Wick down on here, which was...
I feel like I've watched at least nearly, I want to say 80% of theatrical releases of English films in Japan.
Right.
And I've been trying to watch almost every film that's coming out.
Did Oppenheimer come out in Japan?
I didn't. I watched it in LA, but it's coming out this year. It's coming out in 2024.
Oh, it is?
It is.
Okay.
Oh, finally.
I thought they were just never going to release it.
So it is coming out.
Okay.
And there's a lot of other movies that didn't get theatrical releases that have been really highly rated, and I really want to watch.
Yeah.
But in terms of theatrical releases, this is the one I probably enjoyed most. It does help that I also watched it in like the fucking best theater I've ever been in my life. It was just a good film, and
Agreed.
I just wish that I could somehow pause a film and go piss in the theater. Because I had to like,
that's my issue
I had to
as well.
tactically think about when to piss.
Yeah.
And that's the only bad thing about it. But other than that, it was such a fucking good film.
That's why, like, when I'm in the cinemas, I don't drink a single drop of water. So by the end of the film, I'm just like,
But I was just like drinking
dehydrated.
craft beers, and bro, it was
they had craft beers in
bro,
your
it was
cinema?
it was craft beers, food.
Yeah.
I got wings. I got bottomless popcorn.
Bro, only in America, man.
in America,
So good.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Oppenheimer was the one film where I wanted like an 8-course meal during it. I was the only motherfucker in that whole theater eating, and I'd chew into the celery. It was and it would make like a bone crunching sound. It was so fucking good. Eating a juicy ass buffalo chicken wing when he's talking to Einstein. It was like, this is what life was meant to be.
I still love how hype I got. How hype people get when you just see Einstein.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It was kind of hype. I don't know why. And I watched Barbie as well, and there was the whole Barbie versus Oppenheimer, but I thought Oppenheimer was.
I still hadn't watched Barbie.
It's fun. It's a really good
I heard
film.
Barbie's more political than Oppenheimer is. That's what I heard.
In a weird way, yeah.
I heard that was a meme. I don't know
mean,
how true it is actually.
But it's like, dude, it's crazy how and we. Do you know when we had Hassan on, we talked about One Piece, we were like, whoa, One Piece is political, and obviously we played it up a bit, and people were like memeing on us because we were like, we didn't know One Piece was political. Like, obviously, I know that One Piece is political, but I was, I think all of us were like playing it up to kind of have the conversation enter that kind of thing. And there are a lot of media that are very, very political. The people, and I guess I'll talk about this when we talk about Final Fantasy. But like because I played Final Fantasy, and then people talk about the new one. They're like, man, I hope they don't get political about it. And I'm like, the whole game is super political.
The whole series is political.
Yeah. And like so much media is super political inherently because of the themes they're tackling. And people like, they just ignore it because it's not what they want to deal with. But I felt like Barbie, people were like, man, I just don't like it's political. It's like, oh, fuck off. You watch so much political shit, but suddenly when it's about a topic that makes you slightly uncomfortable, it's too political now.
Literally
Fuck
every
off.
Final Fantasy is big military organization takes over corrupt religious organization.
So many games, so much media you consume is way more political than people like to admit. But the moment it's about a kind of politics that they kind of really don't want to be faced with, that's when they start being like, and I felt Barbie, unfortunately was one of those where it was like,
well,
hey.
I think this goes like two ways, right?
Yeah.
To play devil's advocate, a lot of people would just want to watch media for like to escape the life.
Absolutely.
As escapism, to escape the life they're living right now.
Right.
And obviously there are a lot of different political things and pretty much baked into every single piece of media that you consume. But some stories might hit a little too close to home than other stories. I think the most like recent one I can think of that I watched recently was, you watched Pluto, right?
Yeah.
The one where they had a whole storyline about going to this Middle Eastern country to look for robots of mass destruction that may or may not have been in development.
That was
I was like, okay.
We couldn't have thought of a slightly different storyline.
I was like, I have no doubt this is not inspired by real events at all or real politics,
Yeah, and I think that's why One Piece and like Final Fantasy do really well, is that the messages are real, but they're not grounded in anything that you can like be like, oh, they're talking about this.
They're also more generalized, right? So it's harder to like pinpoint like, oh, they're referencing this particular thing.
And the only thing I could probably, in that sense, that the people didn't like about Barbie is probably because Barbie sometimes would just straight up talk to you about what it was trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Which I think is...
It's too on the nose.
It's and also... I felt like the message was getting across anyway sometimes without needing to tell people. I think the moment you're telling the audience, hey, this is the problem, or hey, this is the politics we're talking about, it's like, okay, well, I've got to figure that out myself.
Yeah, I think it's inherently what the message is and how you portray that message. Some pieces of media do it really well. Like, sometimes the best ones are shows like South Park or Always Sunny, where they kind of don't lean towards one message or another. They're more of just like making you think about the entire situation in itself.
South Park's interesting. South Park's sometimes okay and sometimes really fucking bad, depending on what they want to do. But it is very funny seeing people be like, look, Eric Cartman's right, guys. He was right all along. Everything is too woke. And it's like, do you understand who Eric Cartman is and what the role he fills? You are completely missing the point. You are the joke.
Fact that you're taking things
you
from South
agree
Park
with Eric Cartman means that you're wrong.
Yeah. Okay, I would like to say massive achievement for 2023 of getting Connor to put a fucking Final Fantasy game.
We have gotten Connor into JRPGs.
We did it, guys.
Final Fantasy. Honestly, just the series here, I'll just put, but I just put 7. But
Did you play 7?
Yeah, I played 7 and 8.
Which did you prefer?
7.
7?
Yeah.
The visuals have not done that well, though.
Well, admittedly, I played it with some mods that upscaled the backgrounds and some other things. I'm telling you, man, I know some people are like, it's a bastardization to play it with mods, but some of these mods are so fucking good.
Yeah.
I played the 60 FPS mod, which is amazing on PC. And I played it with...
Speed up as well.
And also there was a widescreen mod. Which would just
cool.
expand the backgrounds, especially if like you're in an area where all the background is already like rendered in. It would just fill out the screen, which just makes it a little easier to I mean, it looks nicer.
It looks nicer.
All the mods I used, I really felt were very faithful. Because I what I did is when I was putting all these mods on, I was like looking between. I kept starting the game with and without mods to see if it was like too gaudy or too ugly with the mods. But all of them I really thought made it look really nice.
Okay, I need to know now your opinion on this now that you've played 7. All right.
Okay.
Fuck, marry, kill. Yuffie, Aerith, or Tifa? I'm gonna let you know right now. There is no correct answer.
I will.
In your opinion,
fuck Yuffie,
based,
kill Aerith, and marry Tifa.
based.
Okay. What? Okay. All right. So
That's the canon answer, right?
Yeah, that is the correct answer actually.
yeah, I mean, I feel like it's. I mean, I was really happy that I somehow went 26, 27 years. I think it might be 27 years by the time this is out. I don't know when this.
Yeah.
Without fucking knowing anything about this game. I knew Sephiroth bad, and that's about it. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which almost
you didn't know big spoiler?
I didn't. I actually didn't. I know someone dies.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I didn't know who or when.
Right.
Okay.
So that must have hit you when it happened.
I was kind of shocked because I was
Yeah.
like, wait, we could have revived everyone else.
You're standing there like, Phoenix down, Phoenix down.
I really, really enjoyed it. It was kind of fun because I felt that throughout the 36 hours I was playing it, there was never a point where I felt like I had to grind, which is, again, one of my big pluses for an RPG.
Did you have turbo mode on?
There was turbo mode that I used for some battles, like random encounters when I was trying to just kind of get through a place.
Yeah.
But throughout most of it, I had it off. It was just when I was traversing or going around a place.
Yeah.
But I read every piece of dialogue. I didn't skip any cutscenes.
Wow.
It was very fun. I really enjoyed the story. I think one praise that I can give it, that I feel that I've played other games that don't, other RPGs that don't do this. You have to bear in mind, by the way, I was talking to Pete about this. My first RPG that I ever beat, right, was fucking Blue Dragon on the Xbox 360.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me this. Yeah.
So my exposure to RPGs was dog shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought they were all like that.
Yeah.
Because, that was from, I forgot his name, the guy who founded Square Enix, Squaresoft, and then left to make Mistwalker.
Something like that.
And then he made Lost Odyssey, which was very highly acclaimed.
Yeah.
But the first one he made was Blue Dragon with collaboration with Toriyama's Toon
Yeah.
Company.
Yeah.
And so this is supposed to be like one of the GOAT games, and it was just whatever. It was such a shit game. No, I'm just gonna say it was shit. And even like
It hasn't aged
15-year-old
well.
me could tell. Visually it was fine, but the battle system was clunky and it was boring. It lasted too long. The one thing that was amazing about Final Fantasy VII that I really appreciated is that it always felt like the story was moving.
Yeah.
Even when it was like bombarding me with convoluted story and dialogue, I never felt like I wasn't progressing.
Yeah.
And I never felt like I'd hit a wall of like, this is dumb. Why am I doing this?
You never felt checked out of the story, right?
No.
Yeah.
And the materia system, which is like their system of managing magic, I guess, or whatever, was really fucking good. I really enjoyed it. It was just a great game. What a fucking fun game.
It's a great
Do you
game.
think it's aged well?
Absolutely. I think
How do you think the story went?
it was a little convoluted at times,
Right.
but that seems par for the course for JRPGs and Japanese media in general.
I think the story is the thing that has aged the finest in Final Fantasy VII.
The thing that I didn't like about it is that, and this is more so, I don't know how much this is maybe Squaresoft trying to cash in, because they've made so much media adjacent to the Final Fantasy VII universe. It was very fucking annoying having everyone be like, play this game, watch Advent Children, do this, play
Crisis Core.
Play Crisis Core, do this. And it's like, shut up, let me play the fucking game. Let me play the game.
Are you going to play the remakes?
I'm going to wait till all three are out.
Yeah. Second one's coming out next year.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm going to wait.
I'm starting
Fucking
I'm restarting my journey on the remakes. I'm just
Yeah.
going
Have you played the original?
I haven't, no.
You should play the original.
You just play the original. The
I,
original.
can tell
I
you,
kind of
fucking
feel
loser. Play the original.
kind of feel like I'd rather play the remakes now that they're coming out. I don't know. I really enjoy.
Well, they're apparently going to change some of the story in the remakes, right?
Yeah.
If they do, I'll go back
That's
to
what
play
Yoshi
the
P
original.
said.
I'm kind of enjoying it, like going through it as it is kind of like coming out now.
The next one you got to play, Connor, is 10.
Well, I want to play 9 and 10.
9 is 8. 9
What?
is...
This is the thing I hate about Final Fantasy when I talk about it. Depending on who I ask, I get like completely different opinions. Someone will be like, 6 is the best thing of all time.
6 is the
and then
best,
someone will be
yes.
like, okay, well, see what I mean? And then I'll be like, 10's but 9's really where it's at.
9 has like... 9
I don't know.
has,
I don't know anyone who's talks about 9.
9 has like
be
a
honest.
cult fan base. Like people who have played 9 like fucking love 9. I've played 9. It's a good Final Fantasy, but I think if you want like the kind of next generation Final Fantasy game to experience, like 10 is like the solid one.
Yeah.
One thing that when I was playing this, that I was kind of sitting there realizing, because this game came out in 1997,
8.
which is 1 year after Mario 64 came out.
Yeah.
Right? And that was revolutionary when that came out.
Yeah.
I was thinking like, this is never going to happen again, where you play a game like this that just absolutely blows your mind and redefines everything.
Oh yeah, it was this game and Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
That were the ones that were just like, this is the future of gaming.
And it's like, playing it, I was like, I could understand. I was like, if I was
The hype.
between like the ages of 14 and like 30 when this game came out, yeah, I'd probably make my whole personality about this game. I would probably define my entire life on this game.
And that's why 6 constantly gets shafted because it was the last
this
2D
this
one.
would literally blow my fucking mind if this, and it still did in some respects. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
It was really impressive. I really enjoyed it. I like that.
Is it the best JRPG you've played thus far?
JRPG? Yeah, I'd say so.
Oh, okay.
I'd say so. I think,
Lives up.
I think, the problem is
You just like all the
Final Fantasy 7 fans are annoying as fuck. I'll say it. They suck.
they are.
They are obnoxious, and this happens whenever a fan base knows their game is goated.
Yeah.
They just become entitled, and they know their game is fucking a banger.
It's like the Zelda fans who constantly praise Ocarina
Oh,
of
it's
Time.
the One
right?
Piece fans now, isn't it?
yeah, and the One Piece fans are becoming
God,
it, and it's
fucking
like,
hell.
hey, we get it. But and I understand the visuals are a huge barrier, and it's okay to say that the polygons look fucking weird.
Egg beater looking ass.
They have the fucking chunky arms
Yeah.
and no fucking biceps.
yeah.
But the story is a banger.
Yeah. Totally.
All right.
And absolutely amazing. Yeah. But
Would you recommend just playing this or waiting for the remakes?
I do recommend playing the original.
Because obviously people can be like, oh, watch the original, read the manga, all that shit.
Yeah.
But I was like, I only get to experience this story for the first time once. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
if you've already started playing the remake, I think you should just see the remake till the end.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
if you're interested in it, play the original
like,
again. But
I don't think maybe it'll be like an Ava situation where, the rebuilds are like such a different thing that builds on the original, and then maybe I'll play the original. But
I mean, as someone who started playing the remakes after playing the original countless times as a kid, like I'm still really enjoying the remakes.
I think one thing that will not be replicated, in my opinion, that I haven't seen the new games yet, but one thing that I just don't think that they'll be able to replicate to the same extent, there's no shot they can make the music hit as hard in the remake. The music was so I don't give a fuck about music. The fucking music in this game was so good.
Oh, dude! Like every Final Fantasy game is some of the best like game music. Like Square does not miss when it comes to music.
Why did the music go so fucking hard in every section of this game?
Because
It's ridiculous.
The music section of Squaresoft are just full of goats. That's why.
I was like,
even if they just remake the fucking tracks.
but I feel like the PlayStation, because they were so limited back then by the hardware.
Yeah.
The unique sound of the PlayStation back then was so fucking fun and nice and epic. And I
actually
just
kind of agree with you.
I can't, even though you can probably get like these giant orchestras, you get this full, fucking .wav, fucking 48,000 kilohertz quality, perfect. It's like, but there's something that was so good about hearing the PlayStation sounds.
Oh, dude.
So fucking
To
good.
this day, when you hear the original One Winged Angel,
Yeah.
it is absolutely fucking insane.
I want to go
actually
watch the
agree
Final
with you.
Fantasy concert, the 7 concert. I
Yeah.
want to go watch it now because that
Yeah.
was fucking
Yeah.
fire.
Because I remember playing the latest Final Fantasy 16, right? And, there are some like epic moments. Obviously, it has great music. I don't remember a single track from it
I don't
off the
either.
top of my head.
don't
And I'm
either.
like, I remember being in some of the boss battles being like, oh, this feels epic. But all I can remember about the music is just
It matched the visuals.
epic orchestra track.
Yeah.
That's all I remember. And
Yeah.
I was like, I can't really remember anything else about the music.
Although I am hyped for them to remake the Knights of the Round Table summon.
Oh yeah.
It was so fucking ridiculous when I booted that up, and I was like, "What the fuck is there's this summon animation that's like an hour long for one attack? It's so ridiculous,
Right.
So I'm excited.
It's
to
like
see
a
them.
whole film.
It's so ridiculous. But yeah, that was great game. Very excited for it.
right.
Fear and Hunger.
Yeah, man. I mean, this kicked off.
We know about this
Listen,
one.
I talked about it, but it was so good. It came out in 2018, but obviously I discovered it this year. And my God, what a fucking game. What a game. I still think in terms of RPG, I still enjoyed this and I was more encapsulated by the world than even Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was fucking hooked. It was so dark, so gritting. And the gameplay, even though it was fucking RPG Maker, was so fucking compelling that it got me to be like, hold on now. Let me figure out what's going on in this world. Why is this so fucked up?
Yeah.
Because I was just so enthralled in it. And I really, really, really want you boys to play it.
Yeah.
Please do, because it's so fucking amazing. And if you haven't played it, I'd recommend playing it. Go check it out.
Hell yeah.
It's so goated. It's so good.
And Risk of Rain 2,
Yeah.
which I see you play quite a lot.
I
And-
played a lot this year.
I
Didn't
think
come
you
out this year.
talked about this. In
I didn't really
podcast,
talk about
right?
it on the podcast. No.
Oh, really?
Do you know anything about Risk of Rain 2?
I don't
Yeah,
know
I've
anything
played
about
it.
Risk of
You
Rain.
played Risk of Rain 2?
Yeah.
What, when?
Played it a while ago.
Alone?
No, I had a friend I played
okay,
it with. It was addicting.
It's so fucking addicting.
These
don't-
kinds of
I don't know
games,
anything about this.
These kinds of games don't really appeal to me. But I remember we played for like 3 hours or something, just
so
trying
good.
to grind it out.
Basically, you have you spawn into a level and there's a teleporter. And you can go to the teleporter at any point and fight the boss. So if you click on the teleporter, you have to stay in the zone and a big boss will spawn.
Okay.
You kill the boss, you get to go to the next level.
Yeah.
Now, around the area are power-ups.
Right.
So you need to get the power-ups and then go to the boss and kill him. However, there's one drawback, and it's that the longer you are taking it, in general, the harder the game gets.
Right.
So the more enemies spawn, the longer you.
The more enemies
I
spawn, the
see.
more health they
Yeah.
have, the more damage they do.
Yeah.
And so it'll go from like easy, normal, hard, very hard, extreme, death, ha 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 ha, ha,
Right.
lamau. And then like it just gets to the point where the game is so fucking hard that you can't beat it. So you
Right.
need to get to the final stage and beat the final boss before you kind of get too weak.
So you have to kind of balance between like, do
Getting
I just
power-ups.
fucking go for it without the power-ups, or do I risk it being more difficult with
Yeah.
power-ups?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and it's just and there's tons of classes, tons of characters. It's very stylized. It's very arcade-like feeling. And I played it a lot with Mouse and Pete, and we just had such a fucking good time. And I put so many hours into this game, and I had so much fun. And it really kind of captured that energy of when I first played COD Zombies as like a teenager. That kind of like, oh shit, this is just fun doing the exact same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
The gameplay was so tight. It was just a really fucking fun game.
It's a great game to play with friends. Because I played this at a gaming bar. And I was like, what
gotta
the
play it
fuck
at
is
a gaming
this?
bar,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I played this at a gaming bar and we just had like a bunch of people together. And I'm like, oh, I'm fucking addicted. Because it's the last time I remember feeling that kind of like couch gaming where all your mates are just together
Yeah.
It's so
trying to
good.
like achieve something together. And it was just really, really addicting.
That
especially
LAN
with
party
mates.
vibe, right?
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah, for
exactly.
sure.
So
It's really fun.
All right, yeah, that sounds
and every kind of play style, there's accommodating. And
Yeah.
It's also fun because only one person can get one power up. So if you pick it up and you should have given it to your teammate, it just
Yeah.
leads to just arguments and fun banter. Because you're like, I'm going to take it. You're like, no, fuck you. I should have gotten that one. That would have helped me. And there's just so much like wild kind of combinations of stuff you can add where it
Yeah.
gets ridiculous. Your power ups can be scaled infinitely and get crazy because you can get 99 of a power up.
Right.
And it'll scale it 99 times, and so it can get like real fucking crazy.
Right.
Right.
It's just a really fucking good game.
Yeah, sounds fun. What's the
highly
middle
recommend
one
it.
there?
Vinland Saga.
Oh, right, Vinland Saga.
Vinland Saga season
I didn't
2,
almost.
baby.
I almost didn't recognize it at first.
This
Wait, is that
was-
an anime?
Yeah, this was my anime of the year, I think. Jujutsu Kaisen obviously has been a banger, but I think overall this year, Vinland Saga gave me the most complete package that just made me feel
Do you know what
fuzzy inside.
surprises me about Vinland Saga Season 2? I remember when it started airing, everyone was just like, everyone thought that people would get put off by it
Yeah,
because of
everyone was like, I sleep.
everyone thought, and me included, fans get put off.
Anime fans can't watch.
Yeah,
10
yeah, yeah.
episodes.
They're like, oh my God, it's so slow. And surprisingly, I think I've seen even more positive, well, not really surprisingly, but I'm more surprised that anime fans have patience and can recognize peak fiction when they see it.
Yeah.
Because this is a much slower arc. It's much more character driven than the previous one, much less action. And a lot of people seem to enjoy it even more.
Yeah, it was just amazing. Really excited to see where it goes.
Yeah.
Although I've read ahead a little bit, and gonna be very interesting to see how they handle.
It's still peak.
Yeah, I'm hopefully it continues to get a banger adaptation.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it was generally my anime of this year.
Yeah.
I can't think of an anime that I found more compelling.
Yeah.
That's about it. I mean, it's the go.
Yeah.
It is the go. I mean, I feel like this year for anime wasn't necessarily a weak year at all. We just didn't get a lot of the strongest anime we got this year were just very much sequels and continuations.
And Vinland Saga was a sequel and continuation.
Yeah, exactly. That's a sequel and continuation. A lot of anime. There weren't as many strong new
originals,
or new IPs coming up this year compared to last year. I thought. What's the one on the bottom right? I don't recognize
that's a YouTuber. I got into. It's called BobbyBroccoli.
Oh yes,
This guy's
I
videos
also
are
got into this
fucking
guy.
good.
I saw the video where he's talking about that guy who invented a new element.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, this guy's dope.
He's released like.
I thought that was just fan art of you.
Oh, okay. Damn,
This
you're right.
does kind of
You're
look
right.
like you.
Me, I am my favorite thing of this year. No, it's a YouTuber called BobbyBroccoli. He's probably my favorite YouTuber that I discovered this year.
Yeah.
He made some absolute banger videos. I think every single video I get super excited about, even if I have no interest or don't care about it.
Yeah.
His presenting style is so unique, and I just find it really, really
His
engaging.
editing's really good as well.
It's just amazing content. Please go and check him out. It's really good. If you like documentary style, informational videos with fantastic storytelling, please check it out. It's so good. So that's probably my favorite YouTuber that I discovered this year. Also, shout out to Frederick for releasing a fucking 6-hour EVE Online video.
I still haven't finished that one.
I haven't finished that one yet.
Fucking years.
Yeah.
That was an
the one
amazing
I also
video.
want to shout out is very recently, Summoning Salt released a Mike Tyson's
I haven't
Punch
watched
Out
that
video,
yet.
I haven't
and halfway through the video, he talks about himself.
Yeah, because I remember he did a video about Punch Out Records and it ended on him being the record holder.
He's currently the record
yeah,
holder.
he's really good at Punch Out.
And everyone in the comments was like, so hype when you started to hype yourself up. You go, King.
Well, it's like when I watched that fucking speedrun about the blue shell any percent. And the guy making the video was the guy who's the world record holder. And I was like, oh. But he was talking about himself in the third person.
Yeah.
That was very
That's so
funny.
based.
So yeah.
Also, what else is based is fucking For You.
that was probably my favorite. I've listened to a lot of music this year. I did the YouTube Premium Rewind, or whatever the fuck it was, where I
the
talked about
Wrapped?
where I talked
Yeah.
about all the music I listened to. And I think this would have been higher, but the problem is that Tatsuri Yamashita isn't on any streaming platforms.
Yeah.
But I've definitely listened to him more than I think anything else this year. Just absolute banger songs for any occasion.
I think I commented on that on your Twitter because you had Thundercat on there.
I did have Thundercat out there. Yeah, it was really good too.
Based taste.
I've listened to mainly funk, like funk with like, I don't know EDM. I don't know what EDM is. I don't know, fucking whatever electronic funk.
Beeps and Boobs.
Yeah, beeps and
Yeah,
boops. Yeah.
and city pop, which I got more into again this year.
I've been
Yeah,
trying
I-
to find this record on vinyl for years, and the cheapest I've seen it go for is like $300.
I thought he was selling it as his concert.
Well, I didn't go to the concert.
Wait.
Well, the original pressing.
Yeah,
I wanna
sorry.
find,
Yeah, they have the remake one. Yeah, I went to a bar. I just happened to go to a bar like 2 months ago, and I walked in, and it was a wine bar where the guy played records.
Right.
And I shit you not, the only 2 records he had, like he had a collection of records, and they were only Daft Punk and Tatsuro Yamashita. And I was like, there ain't no way. There ain't no way.
It was made
It's like
for
your
you.
twin.
I was like, bro, we're the same guy. I was like, what the fuck? He literally,
You like the beeps and boops
he
too?
literally only had Daft Punk and Tatsuri Yamashita.
Wow.
He didn't even have that many albums, but because they don't have, respectively, they only have X-Men, but he had all of them on display, and it was just those. And he was cycling between Tatsuri Yamashita and Daft Punk, and I was like,
Based.
that's it. Bossman's found the best bar.
I found my local place.
Do they still make city pop?
No.
They make city pop styled like tracks now that it's like kind of a trend in the indie scene, but like you can't replicate.
City
that
pop was like
sound.
the era. It was like 80s. Like,
Yeah, it was like
you could remake 80s sound, but I feel like the 80s is like it's.
Well, it's like
period.
pop
That's-
music in general, right? Like with guys like The Weeknd who are like bringing back the.
Oh, like,
80s.
he's
Yeah,
like, I
that's
mean, he
right.
sampled
Yeah.
city pop, right?
Yeah.
So.
But it's not exactly the same.
It's not the same thing.
I mean,
No, because-
I am very much down. Let's sample more city pop. Let's get the
Yeah,
vibe.
totally.
Let's do
because
spins on it.
because like when you get into city pop, you're like, oh shit, yeah, this shit slaps, and then
Yeah.
you realize, wait, there's only a limited supply of city pop out
Yeah.
there, and then once you burn through them all, you're like,
They're not making it
No,
anymore.
where
That's why
can I get my new fix, man?
was-
I can't listen to the same 10 songs all over again.
That's why I was so hyped that Tatsuri Yamashita is still touring.
Yeah.
'Cause I was
Yeah.
like, wait. I got really sad when I started looking up a lot of the artists that I liked for City Pop, and a lot of them are just dead.
Yes.
And I was like, well, I guess they're not performing. And I was like, I'd love to go and like appreciate this music live.
Bygone
you know.
era, unfortunately.
So I was really happy that at least the GOAT, Tatsuri Yamashita,
Yeah.
kind of the father of all of this, is still touring because it's like,
I'm still so fucking jealous you saw him live.
and it's been great because
The
like
one concert you
whenever
didn't
I
One
go,
concert I couldn't go to.
whenever I go to small bars now in Japan, especially like when they're like themed about music, I'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, I like Tatsuri Yamashita, and I swear to God, like this is like a 9 out of 10 bar owners I go to. They're like, oh yeah, I've watched him live.
Yeah.
And we just start fucking like going off about how much we love him.
Yeah, saying you love Yamashita Tatsuro to like a bar man in Tokyo and is the same level as like talking to anyone in the anime industry and being like, oh yeah, Berserk's my favorite.
Yeah,
manga."
right.
Yeah.
But
like
it always goes
instant
down well.
respect.
Yeah, it's like always great. And I've been having a great, and a lot of times they'll just start playing it for me, and I'm like, oh, thanks, man, I appreciate
Yeah.
it. So yeah, I've you know, what a great album. Go check it out if you haven't already.
Fantastic
Yeah.
album.
And finally,
The Deepest Breath.
yeah, my favorite documentary this year. I spoke about it on the
I've
podcast.
wanted to watch this.
Yeah, I think if you're going to watch any documentary this year, this is the one. I think the nature of documentary, the way that documentaries are filmed, it's so hard to film a documentary about something that's unfolding
Yeah.
because you don't know where it's going, how it's going to unfold. When you're filming, right? It is. Well,
Just I don't know why you saying this, but reminded me of this. I just reminded me of the fucking Boogie 29, the Boogie
that
documentary that came out
oh
this
my
year.
god! I mean, that was also a great documentary.
Yeah, that was
I
also
have
a great
lot of feelings
documentary.
about that. Like this was the hardest part about doing a documentary is that if you do a documentary about a story that's already finished,
Yeah.
you're going back, you're asking people, hey, what happened? You get a different perspective.
Yeah.
But it's so rare to get a documentary that is so well made that is also filming everything as it's unfolding. Because you just don't know where the story's going to go.
Yeah.
And filming stuff is very expensive.
Yeah.
Having film crews follow people around is not cheap. There's only so long you can do this for. And so the thing that's really amazing about this and soul crushing at the same time is that all of this is unfolding as the people are documenting it and following it. And I won't spoil much about it, but it is probably the most like gut wrenching and heartbreaking story, a documentary I've watched in a very long time.
Okay.
And I really, really cannot stress enough. I don't give a fuck about diving, but it is just a fantastic, it's like an hour and a half. Just watch it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You will have a great time. And I'm so glad they didn't drag it out into like 9 episodes like Netflix loves doing.
Yeah.
I think a lot of documentaries can be told in 2 hours. Just keep doing that. Not every fucking court scene has to be 8 fucking episodes. I don't need to find out about everything. Just this is just the golden example of how to make an amazing documentary with the added bonus that it was being filmed as it was all unraveling.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Which is so rare. Really, really good. And the Boogie one was amazing too. But my God.
Special shout out to the Boogie one.
But my fucking God, what a fucking sad piece of media. He's just a terrible person.
I do not know why he agreed to do it.
I know why I agreed to do it.
Because he needs money.
Yeah.
He's broke.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he needed more attention
Because we're
and
talking
more
about
money.
him.
Yeah,
We spoke about it now because of the documentary.
Yeah.
yeah.
But like, I watched him on the financial. There's this guy does a video. It's called Financial Audit, and he was on this, and the guy was going through his finances, and it was like fucking bashing your head against the wall. He's like, no, I don't need out that much. He's like, you spend $900 this month on going out. He's like, well, I need to do that. He's like, why? He's like, well, because I can't feed my family. Like, I can't feed 4 people unless I go to fast food for cheap. And he's like, you can go to the grocery store. He's like, well, I like the taste. And it's like, you are ruining your life, and you have an excuse for every single time you ruin your life.
This episode is sponsored by Gamersupps. Gamers, are you tired of just drinking water? Are you tired of hydrating?
Yes.
Now you can do it with style, the British way, with some gamer tea.
Oi, what's this?
Not what people who drink tea sound like, Joe. You sound refined and elegant, and that's why I drink only gamer tea. That's a lie. I drink other teas, but this one is really good too.
They have 4 types of tea. Black, ginger turmeric, sleepy time, and yerba matter.
Each box comes with 15 bags. Bags should be added to hot water like you would normally make hot tea. And guess what, gamers? Each box costs $15 USD. That's $1 per tea bag.
Whoa.
But guys, that is not the big news because Waifu Cup Season 5.5 is launching with royalty, guys. With a purchase of Season 5.5 royalty Waifu Cup, you can get 1 free box of your choice of Gamer Tee. One of these ones, guys. You can spend $30 to get a free sticker pack, spend $75 for a free shirt, spend $125 for a free box of sus snacks, spend $200 for a free lunch date lunchbox with lunch date shaker, and all of these tiers stacks while supplies last.
I love the tea so much, I skipped the water making part.
He's too gamer for this world! Use code TRASHTASTE at checkout for a discount, and thank you to Gamersupps for sponsoring this episode.
All right, finally we can get to my one.
All right, let's see, Gantz, 9 favorite things of this year.
What the fuck?
All right, first of all...
Okay, Joey, what did you...
Your list is noticeably more weeb.
Yeah,
First of all,
I
100 Girlfriends based.
Thank you.
It's such a
Holy
fucking hilarious
shit.
show. It's so funny.
Yeah, okay.
I read the manga of this. I haven't watched the anime yet, but the manga of this I discovered when it was first serializing, and I'm like, this is going to be a huge show.
Yeah, I mean, I feel last year we did a lot of traveling, we did the tour and stuff, and I remember saying it last year, I was like, I want to play more games and watch even more shit last year than I did last year, and I did, which is why my my list is very weeb this year, but... First off, okay, so 100 Girlfriends isn't necessarily my favorite anime / manga that aired this year. I want to keep that one a secret because I'm literally doing like a best of list.
Yeah.
This is the one that surprised me the most though.
I think it surprised everyone.
I came into 100 Girlfriends thinking, haha, this is going to be a funny meme show that maybe I can get like one joke out of.
Yeah.
And then I started watching it and I'm like, why is this actually really funny?
It's so funny.
Why does this concept unironically work? And as I read further and further on into the manga, I found myself thinking, why am I getting invested in these characters? It does not make any sense.
That's exactly how I felt reading the manga, because I randomly found it in a bookstore, and it was only when Volume 1 had come out. And I was like, oh, okay, this looks like a kind of dumb, fun thing to read. So I picked it up, and I was like, holy fuck, when's the next volume coming
Can
out?
you guys tell me about the premise? Because I don't know anything about this.
So it's a guy who gets 100 girlfriends.
Yeah, so it's a guy who, during his middle school era, couldn't be like, wasn't getting any girlfriends at all. So he goes to a shrine where he prays to like a shrine that like specializes in love to be like, I want to get a girlfriend going into high school, blah, blah, blah. Guy comes down and he's like, I'm going to make you the ultimate Rizzler.
Yeah.
And basically he made it to the point where he's like, you will have 100 girlfriends by the end of your high school
Or you'll
life.
have 100 soulmates.
Yeah, you'll have 100 soulmates. But he can't choose the soulmates. They just happen randomly.
Yeah.
Polygamy, nice.
Yeah. So by around like, girlfriend number 2 or 3, it's already getting pretty chaotic. But then later on, when he starts to have like 10, 20 different girls into the picture.
26, 27 right now.
Yeah. It just becomes so chaotic. But the way that all the jokes are written is so funny and so left field and absurdist that it just makes the whole concept ridiculous.
It's basically, if you've ever watched a harem anime or harem manga, it takes all of like the most ridiculous tropes in that genre and just expands on that. And just like, I mean, the concept
totally makes fun of the harem.
Yeah, I mean, the concept is him getting 100 girlfriends. So your suspension of disbelief is already like fucking shattered anyway. So it just takes everything that you think is ridiculous about that genre and just amps everything up to an even more like ridiculous level.
Yeah.
Also, goddamn, like if picking best girl in a show was hard enough, this show has made it impossible. Because literally every girl is likable in some way.
And you think, okay, he's going to do like 100 girlfriends. He's going to do like 10 or something. And then everyone else is going to be a background character.
Yeah.
And we're like 150 chapters in. And he's given every single girl the same amount of care and time.
They get just as much screen time as everyone.
And it's fucking insane that the team are actually trying to go through with this concept and play it out completely straight. It was my biggest surprise of the year because I thought it was just going to be a meme show, but I'm completely caught up. And god fucking damn it, I need more.
Yeah. It's such a good show.
So this is it's going to be somewhere on my list. That's a spoiler, but this is my biggest surprise of the year in terms of anime.
Yep.
I said last year that I was going to get into the Trail series.
Oh god, why?
And
I haven't joined you on
I
that
am
adventure yet,
about
unfortunately.
200 hours in right now.
Yeah.
And like I was getting a bit rough. It was getting a bit rough, like 100 hours in. But now I'm like 200 hours in.
You're too far in now.
And I'm like, God damn, this shit slaps. All right, I finally fucking get it. So I'm currently in the 4th game in the series now. This is my favorite game that I've played so far.
How many games are there again? Remind me.
About 10, 11 so far.
It's long.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. So it really, really does take a while to really set up its world. And it took me a whole year to get through like the first 2 games just because some of those parts were just such a big drag because they really don't like, they don't exactly give you a compelling plot line originally. They just let you explore the world naturally. And I'm like, God fucking damn, this is long. This is really, really long. But I feel like once you get past one of the games where you get invested in the world, now that I'm invested in the world, even though you have that same formula, you know, like let's say a One Piece arc, you go to a new island and that first few episodes, it's just exploring the island and you're like, well, okay, what the fuck?
Yeah, hurry up.
Yeah, but now because I'm so invested in this world, that part when they go to a new arc is already interesting to me. It's already really, really interesting to me because I'm already really, really invested in the world.
And the stories are connected between the games.
And the stories are connected, so you get to a new chapter and you're like, oh, it's the main character from the last one, or oh, it's this person. And like the part that really like the part when I really, really started to get interested is so it's kind of very, very, it is basically the One Piece of JRPGs where you go through this storyline and you hear like a story about this epic guy who has changed the world, who was an S-class fucking person in this guild. And you're like, who the fuck is this guy? And then this guy fucking shows up and starts like wrecking shit. And then there's another guy that also shows up and is like even better than that guy. And he's just like affecting the whole world politics after like one decision. And you're like, holy fuck, this is like they have built up these characters in such an organic way, and then they come onto the screen and they make their presence known and they completely live up to the legend that has been built up. And I am just starting I mean I'm just at the start because I've only finished the first arc, but now that I've seen some of the payoff that has happened with just this first arc, going through I'm going through like Trails from Zero right now and seeing some of the characters from this arc show up in the arc that I'm going through now as side characters, and seeing some other major players that were only just mentioned in the first arc that like some kind of like big legendary characters, and seeing them kind of show up in this arc, it's really, really fucking exciting to a point that I can't really think of any other game series that has given me this. I can think of anime series like something like One Piece where you hear of Whitebeard, for example, and then Whitebeard shows up and you're like, holy fuck.
Yeah, because most JRPGs, like Final Fantasy, for instance, like the stories aren't connected between games, right?
Yeah.
Unless it's like, 10 and 10-2, for example. But like, you don't normally have like a long running, like, 10 plus game series where all the stories are connected. So like, you definitely get invested. Like that's built to be invested in.
Oh, totally. And
I really want to join you, but damn, it looks daunting.
It is. That's why I didn't really play any other JRPGs this year.
I was like, I'm going to play everything else first, and then eventually I'll get to it.
My JRPG journey has just been Trails in the Sky and the Trails series, and that has been enough.
Committed very hard.
He's committed,
and
I think you have to be for this game.
Yeah, and I will say, one thing that's similar to Final Fantasy, how you know you have a good game series is that everyone seems to have a different opinion
on which one
is the best game. So when I started this, everyone was just like, you're gonna get to Trails of the Sky third. Some people say it's skippable. I think it's not, but it's one of the slower ones.
And then you liked it a lot.
And then this has been my favorite one so far. This is actually the game that got me invested in the series.
That's crazy that you play 3 games and not invested yet. That's
JRPGs.
I mean,
that's insane.
I was invested, but this was like this game out of all three, because the first two are more traditional JRPG where it's just like big, epic storyline, world-ending thing happening. Yeah. And then Trails of the Sky third is just, hey, slice of life. Hey, massive lore dumps about what has led the world to this situation. I'm like, holy shit, this is actually really fucking interesting.
I had a similar experience with like Xenoblade, for instance. Like I didn't fully get invested into the Xenoblade universe until the third game. Yeah. And it took me 1 and 2 to finally be like, all right, this series is kind of goated.
Yeah.
So I totally get it.
All right. So you also put Honkai.
Yeah, I mean, I would be lying to myself if we talked about the games that
the resident gacha gamer
defined our years. I needed to put a gacha game on. I mean, I played so much Honkai Star Rail this year. Like, obviously, I was sponsored to play it, but also I played it a lot in my free time as well. And I kind of just feel like this was Hoya versus like everything that they've been building up to kind of coming together into a product that is tapping a market that I don't think has been tapped in the gaming industry so far.
I hope we have a Honkai ad in this episode.
It'll be great.
We won't.
God damn it.
I mean, you like, of course, we all love to clown on gacha gamers, rightly so, especially fucking Hoyoverse gacha gamers. But I do feel like their success comes down to them tapping into a market of gamers that I am.
Yeah,
you know,
for
and
sure.
It's the casual gamers.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, in terms of mobile games, I think they're definitely making like the most complete products.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But, I mean, people just clown on gacha in general, right? But,
yeah, because I mean, you already talked about, we already had this conversation with Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Where we see this hyped up new game coming out and we want to play it, but we do not have the time or the commitment to dive into this world right now. And part of the reason I, genuinely respect Hoyoverse for what they're doing is they are making a product that you can put as much time into it as you feel like putting into it.
Yeah.
But it also, with Honkai Star Rail, it's the first time I got a payoff that I would normally experience with a so-called AAA game.
Right.
And it was just, it hit me out of left field so much that it was probably one of the gaming moments that stuck out to me just because I was not expecting it.
I mean, in a lot of ways, Honkai is almost a AAA game if you think about it, because like
it definitely is.
It definitely
for
is.
sure, right?
But it
like,
still
I
has.
think people still don't recognize it, or maybe they do. But like, at least the
I think there's this part of gaming which I think is very fair, where they're like, we don't want to reward games that require money,
right?
Which I think is fair. I think a lot of gamers they don't respect games that maybe I know you can do free to play and all that stuff, but a lot of gamers don't respect games that are like, hey, money please, we can help you,
Right?
Yeah.
and I think that's valid. I think we as an industry probably shouldn't reward games that do that, right? You're like, we want more of the Trails in the Sky, which presumably has no.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. You want to reward games that, hey, this is a complete game, give it to
Right.
me. Like, I think people prefer that, and that's almost why people don't want to talk about Honkai or Genshin as these AAA games. They want to keep them in the mobile game category. So like, we don't want you to mess with our pure gaming, which has already been fucked up a bunch by microtransactions.
Yeah.
But I understand why a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah. At the same time, I would love more products like this. If we keep this in, let's say, the mobile market where people aren't a fan of like the gacha system, whatever, my big appeal towards Honkai and Genshin and other games like that is the respect of my time. Is that I can put as much time as I want to put into it. Maybe, sometimes I want to just log on and just game for
It's
like
the pick up and play.
Yeah,
nature,
it's the
right?
pick up and play. And one thing that they really cornered that didn't really exist before was how easy it is to pick up and play whatever console, whatever place you want to do it in. So like you want to play it on PC, great. You want to play it on mobile, you can do that. It might not be the same gaming experience, but you can do it, and it just makes it so much more accessible to me. And accessibility is such a big reason why they have blown up so much, in my opinion, even though they get clowned on by a lot of people.
Yeah, one thing I don't respect about the games in general is the whole having to do daily quests, grinding all the time, doing all the stuff. But I know it's how they keep you invested.
Yeah.
It's how they keep you in the game. So when they release DLC, you care about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I'm just me personally, I'm just not looking for a gaming experience that requires me to grind.
Yeah.
To me, that's like the biggest slap in it. Like, you can take my money, but don't fucking take my time and shit all over me.
All right. This might be a hot take. All right.
What
This
the fuck
definitely
you
is a
gonna
hot take. Okay. It was after playing Honkai Star Rail
say? Don't say what I think you're about to say.
that I genuinely was like, I would like more auto battlers
Oh, fuck no.
enabled in other JRPGs.
Oh my god.
And okay. Here's what I realized, because there are the two RPGs that are on here right now,
Yeah.
Trails and Honkai Star Rail,
Yeah.
right? And the Trail series, you know, I'm sure you experienced this with Final Fantasy as well. There are certain segments where I am doing fucking nothing except going through the world and tapping A or tapping attack.
What? Yeah, I mean, but like, this is an RPG and JRPG problem specifically, where they have not figured out how to keep you on your toes without like random encounters or battles that do it. But a lot of the times you can just mash through it. But I feel like that's kind of going away a little bit now. You know, like nowadays you can choose who you fight. So you can just walk through the field without having to bump into any of the enemies you don't want to fight, right? Like there's a lot of these new aspects where they've learned that, hey, maybe throwing a fucking mob at someone all the time is not helpful.
Or you can
an
do...
auto battler is this is like inventing a new disease and then giving you the cure. You know what I mean? That's what they're doing. They haven't fixed the problem.
Yeah.
They're just making a new problem and giving you a new cure. Well, this is the pharmaceutical industry all over again.
Well,
guys,
that's what I like respect heavily about the Persona series, is that, like, you know, you do have this like kind of idle time between significant story portions of the game, and this is like in almost all the Persona games, where like you have the option of you can go to the dungeons and grind for experience, or you can go and do these other things.
Yeah.
And I think just like having that choice, I think, is like a nice balance of like, it doesn't force you to be like, all right, for the next 5 in-game days, you have to go to the dungeons and grind. Otherwise, you're not going to get to this next point. You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Right. So I think just like more JRPGs are starting to kind of throw in other options that don't necessarily equate to you having to grind.
Yeah.
That was a terrible take, by the way, guys. We're not on the record. I don't agree.
We need at least one hot take.
I don't agree with that.
Because here's the thing, okay, because I realized this during Trails of the Sky, or the Trails series in general.
How old is that game? The one that Trails in the Sky, or whatever, the one that you're playing.
I mean, I'm even playing through the new Trails series right now. Here's the thing. What I've realized is that most of the good feeling, the satisfaction I get from playing from JRPG systems isn't so much the battle itself. It's the preparation to that battle, right?
Yeah.
It's getting and I realize this because now that I've complained about the whole item system in Trails before, there was a moment in Sky Third where it just clicked, and then I just had such enjoyment seeing, like, you know, getting all these different combinations of orbs into this one character and building like the perfect team comp to do all these different things.
Part of the fun.
That's part of the fun. And then, you know, you go through most of it, and then I only really got the satisfaction during the big boss battles. You know, during the big challenging boss battles, everything else was just me kind of like going through a dungeon and me just like tapping A.
Yeah, I mean, that's a problem with that game, not a problem that they've solved with auto battles.
I can't think of a JRPG that hasn't felt like that this way. Persona kind of offset that to me, because it felt like Persona was kind of the way that Persona did it was the music was so good, and it felt like a weird experience. It almost felt like a rhythm game playing it with the music. You know what I mean?
I mean, especially Persona 5, the battle theme being one of the hardest bangers that Alice has ever made.
Well, you know, a lot of the times you can by the skin of your teeth, you can beat a mob, right? And you can get lucky. And so I think the reason why a lot of these games had that back in the day, or why they still continue to do it to an extent, is that, like, hey, if every single normal enemy you're coming across is kicking your ass, you got to go back.
Yeah.
You got to go train up, or you got to rethink your strategy here. So I think it was just an easy way of being like, hey, get to this level for this part.
Yeah.
But the solution is not auto battling. That is like... That's like the solution to heroin is swapping to like cocaine.
It's not the solution, but it is a patch that I would, especially through some of the fucking old JRPGs.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. Some of playing Final Fantasy VIII, I fucking wish I had an auto.
Yeah, but that's the problem with the older JRPGs, is that they weren't aware of those struggles at the time because it was still a newer concept.
And also back then, gaming has also changed now, where people have so many games to choose from, and now the issue is not, am I getting a game that's worth my time? Money. It's, am I getting a game that is respecting my time?
Yeah.
So back then it was like, oh my God, fuck yeah, I can get 120 hours out of this game. It's like, now it's like, oh my God, they're going to waste 120 hours of my time for what could have been a 12-hour experience.
Yeah.
So I think it's not so much that like, oh, it's, hey, this is respecting my time. It's like, why are they not respecting my time and then giving me a solution where they clearly recognize they should respect my time, but they also clearly are like, no, come back. Please waste your time on us, because that's how we get our monies and we get engagement.
Get our monies.
Money.
So I terrible take on. I'll take.
Nah,
it
would make me enjoy turn-based combat even more, because I fucking hate turn-based combat for this exact reason. So I mean, like, to me, I separate JRPGs into dungeons, which is just brain dead decisions where I'm like, I'm not really going through this dungeon to make any meaningful go on.
From my time playing Honkai, I felt like there was like no depth to the combat system.
What do you mean?
Like, I play Final Fantasy VII, right? This is a 26-year-old game.
Yeah.
There's the materia system.
Yeah.
What a banger. I can make anyone in my party the healer. I can make anyone in my party the tank.
Yeah.
I can make anyone do damage in any kind of way I want to. I can mix and match all of these systems. Yeah. But that's because they're not limited by having to tell you, hey, by the way, this guy's a 6-star. And his thing is fire. And he's really good at fire. So you should get him and use him. Well, and I feel like that is a limitation that has been spawned of gacha, is that you have taken away my ability to customize my characters and play the game the way I want to play it. You're like, this is this character. They heal good. This is this character. They do true damage.
Yeah, they've been pre-selected.
You have now made the combat so boring that auto battling is the only way I can experience this game. Like, the only way you have made this game interesting is by making the bosses harder, thus making me have to think, oh, I need this character. Not, oh, I need to think about how to customize my character better to combat the situation. I feel like it's almost ruined. Like,
well,
it's ruined it.
It almost really, like, here's the thing about these kinds of games, which is like, yes, I agree, which is, if you have every fucking 5-star in the game, all it is going to be you're playing for the story, which is kind of what I'm doing right now.
But isn't that sad that you can just get these characters?
No, but like, if you actually want to be a gamer, the best way to play is to play free to play. Genuinely, because...
But then I have to go through like hours of grinding and shit.
No, because with free to play, you have to learn to play with the material that you have.
You gotta strategize.
Right? You actually have to strategize.
That's fair.
And it's like it's almost like a totally different experience to someone who is a fucking whale who wants to grind for every artifact. When you go free to play, you actively have to play with what you are given. And that is always randomized. And no, it doesn't, like, yes, it feels good to get a 5-star and all that stuff, but this is like, there are, it makes it more similar to, let's say, like a roguelike where the material you're given is randomized and you have to play with what you have. So that's what I talk about a game like this, where yes, it's easy to clown on, but you can approach the game the way you want to approach the game, and that is the beauty of it, where you can just be a fucking degen and just be pay to win.
But don't you feel like sometimes because of the way that they've incorporated gacha, which is, hey, get this character, they're strong, that it has limited what all the characters can do subsequently, because now this is the strong one. This is the weak one. You can't customize him in a way.
You play you talk to real gacha gamers and they don't roll based on they roll based on who the fucking sexiest wife is.
Like,
no, I know. But what I'm saying is like, hey,
I don't even like this banner character, but I have to get it because it's the banner character.
I think it's fair to say that, hey, we've somehow made the combat worse, but we've made it flashier, and so we're like, oh, I think it's better.
I totally agree. Where the depth compared to fucking Trails or Final Fantasy,
crazy, right?
I totally fucking agree. This is the bare bones, the bare bones depth you can ask for. There is tiny, but to me, that's what makes it a great casual game.
It's just turn your brain off kind of game.
It took me like 80 hours to really fully like gel with the Trails battle system. I didn't fucking need that for Honkai, man. I don't fucking need that for Honkai. Sometimes I just don't want to don't want to think too much.
I've now secured you a year's worth of Honkai sponsorships by allowing you to defend it vigorously.
Right.
You're welcome, guys.
We just made Garn a fortune.
This just proves that I have the
Hoyoverse
worst.
is like, yes, Garn, we've made the correct decision here. Yes,
This just
yes.
proves I have the worst taste in games out of all of us. The fact that, yes, I know it's a shitty take. Yes, I know I'm a shitty gamer, but that's the kind of gamer I am, okay? I'm a lazy gamer. I'm a fucking lazy gamer. Just give me story, give me world building. That's all I really
And
fucking
give me
care
the bag.
All right, so let's because we spent like 19 hours there dissecting that.
All right.
What's this middle left one?
Ichinose no Taizai.
yes.
This is a fucking amazing manga.
Such a
Okay,
good
tell me
manga.
what is it? Tell me about it.
Okay, so guy wakes up in a hospital. He has amnesia. Cliche, right?
Very cliche.
Yeah.
I sleep.
Yeah. Except for some reason, he's found out that he's woken up and he has a family. And everyone in the family has amnesia. And they don't know what happened. They don't know why.
But they all know their family.
Yeah, they were told that they were family and they got in a car accident together and they all have amnesia. And so, you know, they kind of like, it's this really wholesome story about this entire family who just have like amnesia and they are told that they're family, but can you be family if you're just like told that you have this bond with each other? So they kind of like, it's a story about them kind of like reconnecting and rediscovering what it means to be a family.
I wouldn't necessarily use the word wholesome.
Wait, Joey. God fucking damn it, Joey. God fucking damn it. Let me
I didn't realize you're building up to it.
Yeah,
My bad.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a story about them discovering their bonds and like they're slowly discovering, hey shit, we like being a family together. This is what being a family means. And then they finally get discharged from the hospital. They go home. The main character goes into his room, and his room is just filled from ceiling to ground with the words "die," like just scribbled like everywhere. Just like something has gone on, and he rushes out and he's fucking panicking. And every single family member has had that same reaction after going to their rooms. They're just like, they're like, guys, yeah,
What the fuck is happening?
Let's have a meal, right? And they don't talk about it. And you're like, holy shit, what has happened to this family? And that's chapter 1.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Cool.
And as the story unfolds, you realize what has gone on with each different family member, some of the fucked up shit that has happened behind the scenes that we don't know about because for some reason, everyone has amnesia. And without spoiling it, that's pretty coincidental.
They all
and that's
slept
pretty
in the car with the carbon monoxide.
Yeah, and that's pretty
coming in.
unusual that they all happen to have amnesia. And it's it just started this year, and it's rare that I have a manga that just immediately gripped me from chapter 1. And this is what
good.
It's still fucking good. This is the page turner manga for me.
Okay, shit,
Where you finish
okay.
the chapter and you're like, there's a twist, and you're like, holy shit, I need to read the next one.
Honestly, it's this artist as well because they did one before this one called Takopi no Genzai, which is kind of in a similar vein where like there's this alien creature that this girl finds called Takopi, and he like tries to like, you know, befriend this like alien kind of creature, and something happens to her and in her vicinity that is like absolutely fucked up. And Takopi, this character, realizes that like he can only once every couple of like periods of time that they can teleport back to the past at a certain point. And so this girl uses this this alien's power to go back in time to try and like fix her future of like the fucked up shit. And this author has this really interesting style where like they have such a cutesy, wholesome looking like
Yeah, it
art
looks
style,
very wholesome.
but has created some
shit.
of the most fucked up stories.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm sold. That sounds
It's-
awesome.
And this one is as well is really fucking
this
like
one-
whoa when I first read it.
This one hits the ground running,
Yeah.
and it hasn't stopped yet.
Takopi as well, like first chapter is just fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn, okay. I'm sold. You sold me, boys.
And that's all I'm going to say about it.
Yeah.
Because it is a mystery manga, so I don't want to say too much.
So read it yourselves, I guess, guys.
Just read it
I'm
yourself.
down.
I just wanted to
I'm
sell.
sold.
I just wanted to sell it. One Piece live action. I keep thinking about this because I keep having people come to me and ask me about it.
You know what? Now, in retrospect, after however many months it's been since I finished watching this, I think I finally realized just how much I enjoyed the shit out of this live action.
Right.
Like this,
I think I came.
It was so good.
I think I came into this too much as just a seasoned anime watcher who had just been
Listen,
jaded.
we've been burned. I mean, I think when everyone's like, "See, guys, we told you it's gonna be good," it's like, no.
No.
You guys have
No.
fucked this up for like 30
Yeah.
years back to back. You don't get to just be like, oh, "See, we were right. It was gonna be good." No, fuck off.
Yeah.
I think everyone was very justified in their worry about hearing this.
Oh, totally.
But obviously, everyone's very relieved that it's good.
Yeah. And the more friends and more family members that have absolutely zero interest in anime, because more keep coming up as as the years gone on, where they just kept asking me about One Piece, and it just made me realize, holy shit, this is why every studio is trying to make a live action, and this is now the standard of big high-profile live-action adaptations, because it just
especially Western production as well.
Yeah, especially Western productions. And I really, really hope that we haven't opened Pandora's box with this one.
We have.
I mean, Yu Hakusho live action's coming out, and I'm really scared.
That's already out.
Oh, is it out already?
Yeah.
Well, I know what I'm watching.
Okay, actually,
Have you seen it?
I've seen a few episodes.
And?
It's actually pretty decent.
Oh, okay. Wow.
There is this one fight scene, because one of the big things that I didn't know how they were going to do was, because I think the first arc of Yu Hakusho was one of the weakest ones.
Well, yeah, it starts off as a slice
How
of
do you
life.
make it compelling?
Yeah, they had this one fight scene with one of the demons that very much felt like a Jackie Chan movie or like an old school kung fu. Like the camera work in that was fucking insane. It's
mean,
not just
I mean, theoretically, if it, these people now are being brought up on anime who are directing these things and watching it, it should get better. And if One Piece has kind of set the stage now, saying, "Hey, look, you can do it,"
Yeah.
then we should theoretically get more good live action adaptations.
Yeah, and it's not to say there haven't been like just as good live actions or better than the One Piece live action.
Yeah.
Because like there have been there's been a couple of live actions I've seen that are actually I think better than the One Piece live action. But it's just we had so many misses in between that time as well.
Yeah.
Still worried about how they'll continue with it, because that's still the big question.
How are they going to bring Chopper into the equation?
Chopper,
That's my biggest question.
How do they do this all before they all get old? How do you have to commit?
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where it's like, I think they've nailed it now, but like going forward is like a real big question mark, and that was always going to be tough with One Piece.
I think they've done what they've needed to do, and they've introduced One Piece to a larger audience, because God forbid One Piece fans are the most toxic now anyway, so what's the harm in making
that's
more,
not how
right?
TV works, Gone. If a TV show's popular, we got to get them seasons out of it.
And
How
you
do
know
we do
what?
that?
I was going to say prior to today that I honestly think that this is the best way to get someone into One Piece. But oh my god, we just got announced today that One Piece is getting a fucking remake? What?
They're doing One Piece Brotherhood before One Piece is even finished.
Which is probably going to be now the new best way to get someone into One Piece.
I guess we'll see how it goes when they start releasing.
I mean, One Piece fans, we've been eating very, very well this year. We've had Gear 5, we've had the One Piece live action, we've had now a new remake coming out.
because they've realized
as well.
an infinite money glitch, which is just using the One Piece IP in any way.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of weird
congrats.
to think that One Piece is now peaking after 25 years?
Yeah, almost 30 years.
Yeah, it's still got new peaks. Excited to see where it goes in
Oda
the
the goat,
future.
man.
All right, everything here was way too fucking vanilla. I wanted to throw in some spice.
Yeah,
Dude,
what is-
I wish I could have put a hentai on mine, but I didn't think there was any good hentai this year.
This one looks like really fucking artsy. Like what is this?
Okay, so this is
Better than sex?
This is a doujinshi.
Okay, I figured that much.
Hentai this year fucking sucked.
It
Oh,
did.
it's so bad.
It
fucking
did.
sucked.
Well, this is probably the worst year of hentai since I've started watching hentai. So like 5
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
And this worst. So this is the fucking worst year
Yeah.
for hentai.
Yeah, definitely.
I wouldn't recommend this doujin if you want to yank it. I'll be honest.
Okay.
I
lost me.
I
You've
want
lost me.
I wanted to put this on because
Is this like a metamorphosis?
kind of.
Okay, yeah, I got that vibe. I was like, this looks too dark and gritty.
I was like, man, I didn't realize the menu had a weird ass poster. Oh no, it's just a fucking big ass black box.
I thought Alex just fucked up on like the cropping, and I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So this kind of takes place in a cyberpunk world where basically sex androids exist, and people can buy sex androids.
So Japan in about 20 years time.
So Japan in about,
hey, we're close. We're getting there.
We're getting there in about 20 years.
Yeah.
And you start like chapter 1, chapter 2, and you're like, oh, the art in this is great. It's kind of got like that cyberpunk aesthetic.
Yeah, it looks like a Yoshitoshi Abe manga.
Yeah, this is
like a Serial Experiments Lane vibe.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of very much that vibe. The art is great. And then they start like developing the characters. And you're like, okay, I'm still like,
put your pants away. You're like, okay.
You're like,
I'm listening.
You're like, actually, this makes it even fucking better because now I'm invested in the characters as well. And then there is just this one chapter where bad things happen to the characters.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've had that kind of emotional reaction to a fucking doujin, I think, ever.
Wow.
Like with Metamorphosis, I was like, I know what I'm getting into. I'm like prepared for it.
Yeah.
With this one, I was just like having a jolly old time, and then like you turn the page and you're like, oh my god, oh.
Is it like Eroguro territory or?
I wouldn't say Eroguro. It's
what the fuck does Aragura mean?
Like violent gore
Jesus
porn
Christ.
era. Yeah.
It is very much violent, but the reason I think it's fucking like because it's like to do with androids, right?
Yeah.
And to do with and to do with like machines. Technically, there's like no gore in it,
Right.
But it made me realize that it made me feel these like emotions just because I was that attached to some of like the android characters in it, and I was like, wait a minute, is this a really fucking good story as well?
And so much so you'd recommend it?
So much so, I recommend people experience it.
This definitely looks like something I'd get into.
Yeah. I was like, Joey,
Here you go.
From the look of it, I'm like, yeah, I think I was
like, Joey, try this one out. Try this one out.
Okay, I'll give it a read.
I'm not gonna say too much about it, but it just like most of the things I put on here are things that have surprised me over the years.
Yeah.
Over this year, because I didn't want to put any anime on there, and most of the films and games we've talked about already. So like this one definitely surprised me. I wasn't expecting that, and I had a very, very strong emotional reaction. And to me, that's what art is all about.
Sure.
Even if you come into this for a totally different fucking reason, that is that is what art's all about. It's about
you're definitely
emotional
coming into
reactions.
this, that's for sure.
I mean, this one was not so much Vinland Saga Season 2. It was how surprising it was for me that a wholesome meme got spread around this year. This was my favorite meme this year. I have no enemies. Yeah.
I mean, we said it plenty of times.
I'm not gonna say too much about this because I mean it very much builds on the power of Vinland Saga Season 2 and the message they had in general.
Yeah.
So much so that it actually gave the internet a wholesome meme. And I think the internet could do with more wholesome memes this year.
For sure.
That's true. It did kind of get the internet by storm for about a week or two.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate. It's a good meme.
The internet was a safe place for about 2 weeks.
So let's talk about the menu.
Okay, the menu.
Did you watch the menu for the first time this year?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I think one of you guys mentioned
we did
it,
speak about this. I actually think I started to slowly get into horror movies this year, and I think the menu
Sydney
was
is forcing you to.
Sydney has forced me to, and she's failed many times. And I think I'm slowly discovering the. So I had a tough choice between two horror movies I wanted to put on here. One was The Menu. The other one was All My Friends Hate Me, which is what John recommended. I actually went out and watched it.
Okay.
And that one, I still think about that one. I finished that film and I was like, I hate it. But then I had the same kind of reaction as The Boy and the Heron, where I can't stop thinking about it. So I'll talk about The Menu first. I realized what I like is the feeling of uncomfortableness in horror films.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much like gory or bad things or scary things happening.
Like Thriller.
like, I wouldn't just call it so much thriller, because thriller.
I felt like horror was a consequence of the general story and not the intention. Like, in a weird way. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I didn't feel like a horror film.
Right.
Yeah.
Because and with horror films, I don't like it when you get into the movie and immediately they're like, it's a horror film. Oh, yeah, horror trope.
Yeah.
Horror trope this.
Oh.
This was like, this is a film that divulges into horror.
Yeah.
Because of, and you know.
Like it has horror elements to it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's definitely horror by the end. But it was still very, very, I really enjoyed this film.
Yeah,
I'm really
because
glad I
with
watched
this one, I think what drew me to it was that feeling of uncomfortableness, of knowing that something's not what it seems to be, but you can't quite put your finger on it.
Like that uncanny valley feeling.
Oh yeah, no, okay, that totally is it. It's that uncanny valley feeling of just being in a situation and not knowing what's wrong,
Something's
but
not
knowing
right.
something is wrong, something is off.
Totally.
And the way that they build this shit up, and then you pay it off being like, haha, this was the thing that was going on in the background all the time. I think this one had one of the best payoffs I have, where it was kind of like satirizing the whole fine dining.
Yeah, it was really good. I really, really enjoyed it.
And also the actor playing the chef, just
Ralph Fiennes?
what's his name
Was it
again?
Ralph Fiennes or Colin Firth? I can't remember which one it was. Which one is it?
It's not Colin Firth.
Doesn't look
Ralph
like Colin
Fiennes,
Firth.
right? It's
Yeah.
Ralph Fiennes. Am I crazy? Is it Ralph Fiennes? I mean, yeah, Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah.
Ralph Fiennes is fucking amazing in everything.
What else is he in?
He's in so many things. Fuck, he's in Kingsman.
haven't watched
He's
Kingsman.
in.
Wait, who is he in Kingsman?
He's like the MI5. Like, this is what you're going to be doing.
That explained it.
This is what you're going to be doing.
This is your your job.
Ralph Fiennes plays as the. This is what you're
he's
going to be playing.
He's
guy.
the Nazi in Schindler's List, like the guard.
Oh.
He's in the Grand Budapest Hotel. He's the concierge. The Kingsman.
Oh, okay. Yes, I do know this actor then.
This man is in so many films that you've probably watched. He's Voldemort.
He's Voldemort?
He's Voldemort. He's in.
So he's just the bad guy in.
Yeah, he's the bad guy in every film.
He's in
evil.
Skyfall. He's in he's in James Bond as well.
Yeah.
Prince of Egypt. He's in Lego Batman. Fucking Wallace and Gromit. Fucking great film. He's in Sunshine. He literally go through his filmography.
Okay.
It is literally like back-to-back bangers.
Damn.
He is such a fucking good actor. And
Yeah.
when he was the main guy in this, I was like, oh, I know it's gonna be. Whenever he's in anything on the poster, it's gonna be a fucking good time.
Banger,
Yeah.
He's such a fucking good actor. And I absolutely love watching him, and he was so good in this.
Yeah, I think the scene that really I keep thinking about is you've seen the menu, right?
Yeah.
It's the burger scene.
Yeah, that's so good.
Just seeing this childlike joy of someone cooking, like this fine dining chef cooking this burger. I'm not going to spoil why he's cooking a burger, but he's cooking a burger, and it's seeing this tired old chef finding joy cooking one of the simplest meals you can find was so weirdly heartwarming in such a terrifying story. I was like, this is such a mix of emotions that I'm feeling right now that I thought this is just great filmmaking with great acting. It's not got the most it's not got the most, weird script, the most convoluted script. It's a simple story, but if you just want good horror without seeing something horrific or gory happen, watch The Menu. Okay. If you want a British horror film, and this is, I want to talk about All My Friends Hate Me. Well, I think that's the name. It's the horror film that John kind of recommended to me, and I would love for you guys to watch it as well because I still think about it to this day. It's kind of similar to this, where it has this feeling of uncomfortableness, something that's going on in the background. The difference between that film and The Menu is that there is not this kind of like big reveal. The ending is left to like your own. The ending's left more ambiguous.
It ends like a Junji Ito story.
Yeah. And that really fucking bothered me when I finished the film.
I'm down to watch.
But the more that time has gone on, the less I can the more I fucking think about that film. Because that film, I don't like. That is the film I think has given me the most anxiety this year.
Oh no! Okay,
and nothing horrific bad happens in it. I call it a British horror film because it is very, very much based around British uncomfortableness.
Right.
And what's the word?
Like awkwardness.
British uncomfortableness, awkwardness, and backhandedness.
Right.
Okay, that sounds fun. I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down.
So okay. I'll tell you the opening scene, right? So the opening scene is there's this guy who is meeting his mates from uni. They haven't met in fucking 10 years or whatever. And it's his birthday. And all of his mates have kind of sorted out a big fucking birthday party for him. And he shows up. He's ready to fucking party. It's the middle of the countryside. And it's going to be a massive house party. He shows up. He gets the beers out, gets the music out. He's like, hey, guys. Turns out the building's completely empty. The building's just complete. He's by himself.
Okay.
And he's like, oh shit, maybe everyone's just late. Maybe I got the wrong time. So he cracks open a beer by himself, starts spinning on music, waits.
No one
1
shows
hour
up.
passes, 2 hour passes. The entire day pass, and he's just by himself.
Oh shit.
And they show up at 9 p.m. or something. And everyone's like, I can't remember the name. I'm just going to, John, what the fuck are you doing here? Well, we gave you a message that we're going to go to the pub. Didn't receive any message.
Right.
And so this party goes on, and
It's weird vibes.
so it's just weird vibes. Something's going on. There's some jokes that are made towards him that are just like, are you joking?
Oh,
Or
God.
are you, was that a joke, or was there some
God.
was there some
This
bite
sounds like a
towards
British
that?
hell.
Yeah. and then he's just like, oh guys, it's a weekend long party. He decides to go to bed, and he just like, guys, I know it's my birthday, but I'm kind of feeling tired. I'm just gonna call it early because we're gonna have a fucking banger day tomorrow. So he goes up, and one of his mates comes up to him, and she goes, yeah, John, can I talk to you for a second?
Oh, God.
Like, I know it's like your birthday and everything, but like, not gonna lie, you've been a bit shit today, haven't you?
Oh God.
And you know what I mean? And you're just like,
Kill me.
kill me now. And that kind of atmosphere continues throughout the entirety of this weekend-long party.
Right.
And you kind of get hints about what's going on, but you never know if his friends actually have a problem with him, or if it's just like fucking tongue in cheek, and if it's just some kind
That
of
sounds
like.
good. I'm
And-
down.
Yeah, I'm invested.
I've never made a film that's made me feel more fucking uncomfortable in my
Okay,
life.
I'm hyped. I'm there. I'm gonna watch.
I'd be interested to see what Americans think about it, because it is this kind of British and I think Australian uncomfortableness
Yeah,
that Americans
yeah.
just wouldn't understand. Because with Americans, they'd be like, I have a fucking issue with you. You know, if they wouldn't make like some fucking backhanded jokes.
Sure.
Highly recommend it.
Okay.
But yeah.
Sounds good.
What's this last one in the middle?
Yeah,
What's
what's
Last
this last
one
one?
was the YouTuber I discovered this year, which was completely out of any kind of like sphere of interest I had. It's this guy called Fortnine.
Okay.
Not Fortnite, Fortnine. He's a motorbike YouTuber.
I've seen this guy.
Okay.
You might have seen this guy, right?
Maybe.
I discovered him when I was going through my fucking Vespa phase. When I bought my Vespa, I was just looking for videos, and
I have seen this guy.
yeah. And
I've
this
seen
is
guy.
he is just
I like his videos.
he is just a YouTuber where he does videos on a topic I have almost zero interest in, but he's such a talented content creator and talented
Yeah, it's
filmmaker.
really well shot.
Yeah.
and like I love the bits. He always adds like very like cinema-esque bits before he
Right.
talks about something. It's really cool.
Yeah, the best way, if I have like a sentence elevator pitch, he's just Top Gear, but for motorbikes.
And there's one guy.
And it's one guy.
Right.
But I think he's Canadian. I think he's Canadian. Yeah. But you may have like zero interest in motorbikes at all, but he presents it in such a way that it's not only entertaining, but it's informational. And thanks to him, I not only got more into like motorbike culture, but I also learned a lot that I thought I had zero fucking interest in.
Right.
And also, if you just miss Top Gear and you miss peak, like Jeremy Clarkson, watch Fortnine. He definitely carries the spirit of that.
Right.
Especially not so much with like, let's say, the special Top Gear episodes, but very much with the weekly Top Gear episodes where they just review cars, but just have a very, very, very unique and entertaining way of reviewing cars.
Cool. Fuck yeah.
And yeah, that was pretty much my 3x3 of the year.
And that was our 3x3s of the year.
Let us know down below what you thought about our 3x3s and maybe what your 3x3
Yeah, what did you get into this year? We'd love to know. Let us know in the comments. But hey, look at all these patrons.
Look at all of them.
Yeah.
Hopefully they were into Trash Taste in 2023, because otherwise they wouldn't really be there, you know what I'm saying? But hey, if you'd like to support the show and see us sometime next year, I mean, we're going to have one more episode before this, but to support us in next year's endeavors, then make sure to go over to our Patreon, patreon.com/TrashTaste.
Yeah.
Also follow us on Twitter, send us memes on the subreddit, and if you head our place, listen to us on Spotify. And we will see you all next week for the final 2023 Trash Taste episode.
All right.
Bye.